Hello, my beautiful badges, Mexicoda, back again with another live interview. This time it's with a Unity Award nominee, Kronnect, who's up for Best Unity Asset Store Publisher of 2020 on the Unity Awards, awards.unity.com. This interview was taken on my live Twitch stream, or the w.twitch.tv/themessycoda, where I'm doing 12 days of Christmas. Every day leading up to Christmas, I'm interviewing a different asset store publisher, developer, game dev, and streamer. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a moment.
Hey, what's up?
I need you to sing in your national language.
Oh, do you dare to listen to my singing skills?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you, it's a requirement of coming on screen.
You know, the Royal March here in Spain doesn't have any lyrics. It's probably one of the few countries in the world that doesn't have a nice lyrics. And that joins to the fact that I am the worst singer in the world. But okay, you want me to sing something?
Yes.
Okay.
You're allowed to make up the words if you want. If it doesn't have any lyrics, you can make up your own Spanish words.
Okay. There is a song from a famous musician here in Spain called Joan Manuel Serrat. And he wrote a nice, beautiful song called Mediterranean.
Oh,
and lovely. I don't remember it very well, but I think it started like this. Quizás porque mi niñez sigue jugando en tu playa y escondido tras las cañas duerme mi primer amor. Llevo tu luz y tu olor por donde quiera que vaya. Y amontonado en tu arena, guardo amor, juegos y penas yo.
Wow, I'm in tears. I'm in tears now.
I hope Joan Manuel Serrat can forgive me for this atrocity. Yeah, but sorry for that, guys. But but yeah, it's a very nice song that I think he wrote it while he was on exile during the Franco dictatorship here in Spain, around maybe in the 70s. I'm not sure, but this is probably one of the most remarkable songs from Spain.
So what do the words mean?
The song is Mediterranean from Joan Manuel Serrat. Joan Manuel, it depends because he's Catalan. Manuel Serrat and Mediterranean. Because he missed so much the Mediterranean Sea, he wrote this song because he was on exile. So.
Oh, and Danby Cool's written in chat, and I'll read it out in my perfect accent. Yeah. Una voz maravillosa y una canción muy bonita.
Very good. Muy bien.
There you go. Now, as any Englishman who's been to holiday in any part of Spain, all you've learned is you don't need to learn to speak the language. You just need to speak loud and slowly, and everyone understands you. But if you do try to learn a language, never try to do an accent. I think that's the English way, and that will stick to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we Spaniards have a very well-known tradition for speaking quite awful English. So yeah. So
I think Spanish people could speak fluent English, right? In a perfect accent, if like the Queen's English, if they wanted. But it's a matter of principle that the Spanish people refuse to do it. I think it comes back. It comes all the way back to our naval hostilities. That no matter what happens, there's always be a case of we might be across the water from each other, and we might, be all part of the EU at the moment until Brexit, but we all still remember that my boats sink your boats and your boats sink my boats and all that shenanigans, because no matter what happens, it always comes down to whoever wins on Europa Universalis. I think that's what life is all about. Forget real history, because nobody remembers real history. Okay, nobody remembers the real historical conflicts of what happened in Europe for the last 500 years. Nobody. All the historian teachers, they don't remember any of that. No, all we remember is the level that we played on computer games, in history computer games. And if it wasn't for history computer games, kids growing up nowadays wouldn't understand, wouldn't have any knowledge of history. Ankri said the messy historian. Exactly. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition to speak perfect English. Exactly. Now, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. So if it wasn't for computer games, kids wouldn't have any idea about history. And if it wasn't for computer games, kids wouldn't know that there was natural hostilities between countries such as Britain and España. And so I'm going to lead perfectly into, if I scroll down, and once again, my stream has frozen on the thing. Is it working now? Yes, it's working now. So if I scroll down on the stream to World Political Map Globe Edition and World Maps Pro Bundles 2, if you want to be making your own history game, you can do, because you can pick up things like the World Map Strategy Kit from Kronnect. Do you see what I did there, buddy? Did you see how I led us into perfectly from talking about history and computer games into a plug for your map kits? It's almost as though I'm a professional.
Yeah, it's quite challenging keeping up to date such kind of assets because of political issues across the world. In fact, I think the most weird thing we experienced recently is that we had an email from Unity passing us an issue from a country who was disputing the frontiers with a neighbor.
No way.
Yeah, and they wanted us to change the geodata included in the asset.
Was it China? Was it China? Can you say it was China?
Yeah, it was that. It was that. So, yeah, and this is you can imagine my surprise because because whatever you do, you will probably do the wrong thing from the other side. So yeah, sometimes it's delicate to publish certain kind of geographic information.
So how do you keep up with it?
Even currently. Yeah.
So like you released this asset now. Okay, so this asset gets released, and these are the borders of the world. And by the time it's published, some international conflict has taken place, and the borders of the world have changed.
Yeah.
And China comes knocking on your door and says, "Excuse me, my dear chap, but it turns out you've got the wrong borders in your asset. We actually own, Tibet." To be controversial.
And then please give us a refund. Yeah, sort of.
Do you have to keep maintaining? Do you have to keep updating and say updated in the versions? Update version 52. Change the borders for Spain. Now we own Portugal.
Yeah, we try to keep it updated to every 2 years. from certain universities who publish some updates through GitHub and other sources. So sometimes we have to be creative because there is no data on that change. For instance, due to the resolution of the map, we didn't include the Malvin Islands. So because they were below the threshold of the base scale, because the world map obviously it can be because it includes the of the geographic data
Hang on,
offline.
you say the Malvinas as in the Falkland Islands or the Maldives? The Falklands.
The Malvins Island. So that's we had to manually draw the borders of this set of island near India, but but it doesn't represent too much work certainly, because except for these kind of conflicts or disputes. The frontiers are usually stable for the scope of what this asset is used for, which is basically gaming. So at this level of detail, you don't need military scale accuracy, and it's fine to have a province level accuracy, for instance. So yeah.
Well, I can imagine that when you're watching the news about a conflict, you're sitting there going, "Oh no, man, I have to update my asset now."
Oh my God.
Come on.
Hold my beer. I have to go back to the computer.
Exactly. And you've got a few different because we're going to go into some of your newer stuff, but I've always been a little bit confused about because you've got like similar assets. So you've got the Globe Edition 2. Right? You got the bundle, right? That got multiple stuff in. But then you've got this like terrain grid system. Then you've got the map strategy kit 2. So is basically, in layman terms, one version is round and the other version is flat.
Yeah. The bundle is okay. It's all-in-one package, but it includes the world map 2D edition, which is exactly as you say, is the flat version of the same asset, and the globe is the spherical projected version of the asset. Obviously, all of the camera and interaction and movement, rotation, and some other kind of effects are different. But the key different is the projection of the geographic information. But then we have the world map strategy kit.
Yes, exactly. This is the one that makes me go, "Oh!"
Which is an enhanced version of the 2D map edition, because it adds a lot of gameplay features like pathfinding, hexagonal grids.
So this is the one that if you want to be making like a Crusader Kings Europa Universalis Civ type game.
You want to create something from Plague, Ink, Risk, or to more sophisticated grand strategy games like those you mentioned. Yeah, World Map Strategy Kit would be a good kickstart for that. Yeah.
Do you know of I don't know if you're allowed to say it, but do people send you like showcases of games made with your stuff? Like, like I've made this game with your asset.
Yeah, we have few examples, because many of the projects in this area are quite complex, because they might use part of the asset only and implement the tactical aspect of the game using other approach. For instance, in World Map Strategy Kit, you could develop all the major development of your strategy, like placing the resources or mass moving units from one area to another, one country to another. But then many studios want to have battles. and they want to have ground level detail of that battle. So they often switch to a terrain-based view where the complete battle develops. And in this case, the terrain grid system is a very useful asset because it adapts very well to the terrain system in Unity. So you can switch from a global view for a strategy or layer of the game, and then switch to a terrain perspective and use other assets like terrain grid system for handling the movement of the units, like in Civilization, for instance.
Oh, lovely. I mean, there's
Yeah.
it is. I mean, because I wanted to make a game like Europa Universalis. When I saw this, I was like, this is perfect for that. And then my brain, obviously, the rational part of my brain kicked in and said there already is a Europa Universalis, and it's lovely, and they've been working on it for years. You're by yourself in your bedroom, and you never finish anything you start. I think it's a bad idea if you try doing it. And I think, well, do I need to be in a big team to be doing this kind of stuff? And we got a question in chat, not if you want to be famous, obviously, but we got a question from Ankri saying, how big is the Kronnect team to be working on all these assets and stuff? Is it just you by yourself in the land of Kronnect?
No, do you mean who am I?
Who are you? Who are we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
there's 100 of you.
I'm the founder. Yeah, I'm Ramiro Oliva. I'm the founder of Kronnect. I'm in Unity full time since 2015, and most of the assets were created by me till last year. And this year we started hiring some people to help me keeping the pace with adding more modules and extra components, and especially the marketing aspect, because
Marketing.
One thing is creating the assets, and then another very different aspect is how do you explain what your asset do, and this requires a lot of time, really. Even I would say that it might require 60% of your time in marketing versus
Really?
because
wow.
because the assets already do so much, so it sometimes it doesn't it is not worthy to add more feature if you can't you are not able to explain that using either a tutorial, some demonstrations scenes, or so it's challenging. Yeah, so I hire a content manager which is called Sorin Prodescu. He's a nice guy, and he has created a lot of the intro videos for the assets for the last 7 months. And recently, I have hired a veteran developer. He's Costas, and he's currently developing a game template for Voxel Play.
Oh.
Yeah, because Voxel Play is a completely different asset for creating, Minecraft-style games. In fact, you created some review.
I made a video, and I had a lot of people asking me to do more, I've been meaning to go back and do more, but I've been waiting for the fabled networking guide, and you recently did that. You recently did a mirror connection, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. We started creating some prototypes because, people came to our Discord and they started asking, hey, how can I implement the multiplayer with Voxel Play? And they were using all sorts of different frameworks like ML API or
really?
Fault.
Nice, because we've got 210 from ML API. It's going to be on stream on the 16th of December.
Yeah, so that it will be very interesting. We opted for Mirror because to date it seemed like pretty popular among
the most common
users. Yeah. So we decided that the best way to try to help our community in creating or adding multiplayer functionality to their games using Voxel Play was to create a full working example, a game template. Because one thing is the documentation, and another aspect very different is seeing that working.
Yes, exactly. That's
Yeah.
it's my trouble. I can't read documentation for toffee. I don't read the readmes. You know this. Yeah, we've had this conversation offline.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to anything that says readme. My brain immediately ignores it.
Exactly. So we started to think about how could we approach this tutorial thing. So we created 2 videos which are already available in our YouTube channel for basic stuff like joining sessions and instantiating other players and modifying or keeping the world state, because obviously you want to keep the world state synchronized between clients. And but those were very specific aspects, and there were very other important aspect of the multiplayer, like what if you teleport to another part of the world, or how do you, for instance, synchronize bullets in case of you are fighting to another player, or all of those sort
How
of
do you
things.
stop people cheating as well?
Yeah, exactly. So we were discussing about what we could do, and we decided to create a fully referenced template for Voxel Play using Mirror with a pirate theme. Yeah, it was a very crazy decision, because we, until now we have been focused on quite hardcore assets. We have never been involved in model create. Yeah, well, fun. Yeah, fun. Exactly. And yeah, more in the technical aspect for the last years, like shaders and performance.
Sometimes
And
you want to be silly. You just need to enjoy yourself,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah. So we decided to create this game, this small game template, and I think we have a video here. I will post in the.
I think Sanya's already posted one in. If I click it, is that the right
Yeah,
one?
let me find it, because I'm not sure if it's live.
Pirates and Cannibals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is just an introduction for the characters that will be available in this template, and which you can see here in the chat.
Oh, there's a crocodile.
Oh my God. Okay. So I have no permissions here. Okay, I have sent the link to you by Discord. Okay.
I'm showing it on the stream. It's the one. It's the one that we're looking at.
Oh,
So,
okay, right.
Yeah. If you've muted the stream, but you've still got it playing.
Yeah. I'm
can
watching
see.
it now. Yeah.
There's a pig.
Yeah, so we wanted it to be fun as well. So you can choose or pick a faction. There will be 3 factions, like Navy, Cannibals, and Pirates. And the idea is that you can just start a new game, a new room, or join an existing game, and start killing each other, basically. The idea is to create battle royale game scheme using Voxel Play and Mirror with this pirate theme.
So are the pirate downloadable? Because Zankri saying I want to buy that fish and pig. So are they? Is it going to be a pack that people can buy your pirates?
Yeah. Well, we have not decided all the roles that will be will have these characters in the island. But yeah, basically the idea is that you can kill, destroy everything, and loot whatever you have, because keeping inventory synchronized across clients is also a common question. Yeah.
Look at that! Look at that shark. Is cute, quirky, and fully animated animals.
Yeah, look at that piranha.
Yeah, it's delicious. It looks delicious. And you got is that a cheetah in there? What was that?
Yeah, there is a cheetah and a panther. Yeah.
That's the panther. Looks like my cat.
Initially, we added a monkey, a crazy monkey that was supposed to jump a bit across the trees in the jungle, but we we thought that there was too much. So we decided to keep that limit on these characters
That's
and
that's a
yeah,
lot of effort
keep
from
it
him.
keep it simple. And
Well, we're talking about the rare Black Panther. Exactly, it is the rare Black Panther. So, I'm sold. I had no intention of buying Voxel Play, but I cannot help it. Exactly. Wizard Stone Code. How did it go with your game jam? There's a link to Kronnect's page. So it's not all my fault. No, it's not all your fault. Now, people asking how big the team is. This is your office over in Kronnect land. Won't say where you are, so
yeah,
people don't come knocking on your door.
yeah,
And I
that's
like it. You've got Monopoly, Hotel. I used to play Hotel. I used to love Hotel, and we were playing with my cousin, and she was losing, and she got up and just stood and smashed all of the hotels. So it's no one could ever play and rip them up.
yeah, those are just very old boxes that we have there. Yeah, but I am also a fan of classic tabletop board game, and yeah, like from strategy games like World in Flames to casual tabletop games like Carcassonne or what is this? Catan, which
Oh
is
yes,
a very
classic.
familiar game and very simple to learn.
And
And
then over here on the left, you've got a keyboard set up for playing
yeah,
music, and my attention is this a speaker with masking tape stuck to the table? What is this?
yeah, this is because my daughter is taking piano lessons,
So she's
so
going to be
she's
making music that you're going to sell on the asset store.
who knows? Maybe if she can keep his promise that she will keep using the piano. She often gets quite distracted with using, WhatsApp and all these teenager things
You need to
today.
build an app that limits the amount of time she has, or on the number of messages she can send on WhatsApp, and you have to play on the keyboard more time to earn to be able to use WhatsApp and the internet. I think that'd be genius. You're like, you want to use the internet? Get on the keyboard and play a couple of songs. There you go. Do your
Yeah,
lessons. There you go.
yeah,
That's a good.
yeah.
That's the next
I think
tool.
I think she was. Actually, I think that she was watching the stream, but I can start to think that she has a lock off right now.
As soon as she heard about her dad might lock the internet down,
Yeah.
that you have to play the piano to be able to use the internet. So that's it. Off. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Mm.
Or was it your singing? I hope it wasn't your singing. That because I'm pretty sure that made more people come through the door than made people leave. And then if anyone noticed these really lovely chairs, it makes me so jealous. Look at these. And
Yeah.
look over here, all the pictures as well on the. This is a lovely office to be sitting in.
Yeah. Well, those are four seats because I have a lot of different boxes and configurations. I have almost 30 assets, and they have been tested for many platforms, including, of course, mobile and VR. And so, yeah, I usually work in front of my iMac, and most of the time I have to switch to Windows boxes because there's many issues that only occurs on Windows or on iMac or on Mac OS X due to the platform differences. So yeah, it's kind of complicated sometimes because I have to be switching for testing purposes. But yeah, but the idea is to cover as much as platform possible. even if if there is not enough with all the number of Unity versions we have, imagine multiply that for the different platforms, including WebGL, Windows, Mac OS X, mobile, Android, iOS.
I didn't even think about needing some special support for WebGL until somebody asked about one of my tutorials. Would it work with WebGL? And I was taken aback. I was like, I've no idea. I've never even thought about it before. You'd actually have to then have some special support for WebGL. So Goku's asking, are those waste pipes in the corner at the ceiling?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about painting it in the Death Star style or something like that. But yeah, my wife went crazy about the idea. So yeah, we ended painting it in white and tried to simulate it with the ceiling. So yeah.
Well, out of all of the things that Sengoku has attention to detail on, that's the one thing in the room that caught his attention. Thank you, Sengoku, for that question. But we're not just here. Cover it with poop emoji stickers. Actually, that's a very good idea.
I'll tell my kids, yeah, about that.
Because it's the basement! Exactly, Sengoku. Because it's the basement. Sengoku's worked out where you are. It's the basement. And talking about the basement, let's escape from the basement and get into somewhere where there's nice light shining through with volumetric lights. So we're going to be playing about today with volumetric lights. You've also got I played about with your previous volumetric fog and mist, and I did a video on your first version, but now you've got version 2.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The two number just reflect the fact that these assets now contains two packages, one for built-in and another for universal render pipeline for the same price.
Oh.
They are included in the same asset. So if you buy the Volumetric Fog and Mist 1 or Classic Edition, you will get only the built-in edition of the asset.
So if you only need the built-in, then you can go with one. But if you want both, or you want the URP, then you go with Fog and Mist 2.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also upgrade, paying just a small upgrade fee.
Just from a small manageable upgrade. I love that. Just a small manageable upgrade fee. You can go from one version to another. Unity's making it easier to handle these upgrade transitions from one asset to the other. But it's still not very easy for a publisher who's got so many assets like you've got to be able to go to do these upgrade paths, is it? Like your the world maps, you've got a bundle pack. So if you've purchased one of the items, are you able to upgrade to a bundle pack?
Yeah, you can do that because as you said before, Unity is making this thing easier with time, and now publishers can create cross-sell links. You can just link two assets between them and attach a price tag for the transition, to say that way. So yeah, basically today you don't have to create an asset from the ground up for a bundle and include copies of the assets. You just create an empty asset with whatever name you want. Add a simple README text just to clarify that this asset itself doesn't have any content, but it entitles you to get free copies or free licenses for the referred assets. So the bundle, the World Maps Pro bundle, when you purchase one license of this bundle, you instantly get free licenses for all the other assets.
Genius.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and yeah, in this case, for instance, Volumetric Fog Mist 2 also includes dynamic Fog Mist too. And this is a complete different asset. But yeah, we have set up this cross-sell fee, so you don't have to pay the full price. If you have a Volumetric Fog Mist 2, you can download Dynamic Fog Mist for free.
So what's the difference between the volumetric fog mist and the dynamic fog mist?
Yeah, historically, the Dynamic Fog Mist was designed to be run on mobile. And so it doesn't have any ray matching algorithm into it. It does some tricks to compute fog accumulation in a smart way, but it doesn't rely on expensive ray matching algorithms. And as a result, it doesn't add, the realism that the volumetric fog mist can offer to you. For instance, dynamic fog mist doesn't include real-time shadows. You can get shadows on the fog created by dynamic fog mist, but you can have these nice shadows on top of volumetric fog mist.
If you said about mobile, if I wanted to make something for a tablet like Amazon Fire for my kids to play, which one should I go for? Should I go for the volumetric or the dynamic?
Well, I would say that it depends. I have this question every day. Yeah, not about the Amazon tablet, of course, because there is these two distinct assets. It produces some kind of confusion or doubt. So people keep asking, "Oh, okay, I have my game under testing, and we want this game to be able to run mobile." But you know what? Currently, mobile space is quite diverse.
They're really powerful though. Some mobiles are like more powerful than my computer.
Yeah, of course. Take for instance for the example of the latest iPhone 12, right? Compare that to a medium range Android device. It's like day and night in terms of graphic capabilities. So my answer is, okay, feel free to purchase a license, try it for 2 weeks, and if you are not happy with it, contact us and we will refund your purchase.
That's just crazy though, because people have already used it. They're going to keep it. They're going to get their money back.
Yeah, we know
you.
that. About 10% may abuse this trust, but I think that in the end they will be happier, and I think that we can build a good relationship using this kind of try to buy. Yeah, so if you have some doubts or hesitation about if the asset can fit your game in terms of fog effects, or you want to switch between the different fog effects, just contact us by mail. We can arrange this kind of deal. And of course, if you are not happy with the asset in your game, no problem at all.
Dude, well, I'm going to say that is really admirable. And as an end user, as a customer, I'll be like, wow, that's an amazing policy. But then the other cynical part of me says, I don't trust human beings at all, because people are just open to abuse things. As soon as they see this, they can abuse something. And Wizardome Code says, if somebody abuses that, are they still able to get upgrades? That is, if they get a refund, do they get blocked from upgrading? So are you able to retract it on the system?
No, they no longer can get new downloads. So if you get a refund, you get your money back into your account between 5 or 10 days. That's the Unity processing time. And once that the license has been returned, then you are no longer able to download new updates.
Ah, cool. So the license actually gets evoked from Unity itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the refund process works like this. The user contact the publisher, then the publisher evaluates if he's entitled to get a refund, because according to Unity, sales are final. This means that even if you are in Europe, you are refusing your right to get a free refund.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody else was telling me
Yeah.
that it's actually conflicts European human rights. You know that Unity is basically in breach of it. So, and I mentioned that actually to Unity in an email, of which somebody said that they were looking into this to resolve this issue. But like I said, and it's not just Unity that does that. A lot of services that are sold digitally, basically saying that it's a digital purchase, therefore it's done. All sales are final because you've got it. You can't give it back once you've downloaded it. You'd have to prove that you've deleted it from your computer and you don't have any more backup copies made. It's very difficult to police, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's contemplated in the European regulation. If here in Europe, digital purchases have this, how do they say that? I don't recall the legal term, but yeah, you have the right to return or to get a refund in 2 weeks, unless it is very clear at the moment of purchase that you won't have access to this right, that you refuse to keep with this right. I mean, and Unity is doing this in the right way, because when you are in the checkout page in their website, there is a very clear message on top that you have to tick that checkbox, and the message says you are refusing your right to return the purchase because this sale is considered final, and you agree with that.
Epic does the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, so basically, yeah, sales are final, and publishers are not required to offer a refund. It's just a matter of customer care, or to keep. It's open to the publisher currently.
Do you think it's a bit misleading in that when on the asset store, they have this tag, this little box that says, "Need a refund?" ? We've got you covered. Basically implying that Unity guarantee refunds if you purchase an asset. So buying an asset is risk free because Unity will sort you out of a refund. I haven't seen it. I used to see it all the time. I'm going to go now to see if it's still there. I can't. It looks like they've taken it down, but it used to be a big box saying, "Refunds, don't worry, we've got you covered." Do you remember that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we have these discussions with the asset store team, and I think it's nice, because in the end, the idea of that message is to create a confident theme when you are purchasing, because some assets are simply abandoned or deprecated.
Yes, they are.
So the idea of this message is like, hey, if the publisher is not responding, then we will cover your refund, right? But if the publisher is active and he refuses to refund your purchase, it's the right of the publisher. That's the idea of the message. So yeah, at the it's open to the publisher to decide what refund policy they will use at the end of the day. In my case, I prefer to give you the opportunity to spend the money on other of our assets, for instance. So yeah, that's the idea. You are not happy with the asset for some reason. Okay, maybe the asset is not performant as you expected for any reason, or maybe
or you accidentally clicked the buy button when you were sneezing. And you accidentally filled in all of the rest of the forms.
Yeah. Well, we yeah, we have a lot of weird reasons. Yeah, we recently have a guy that said that he let his kid of 8 years old free access to the asset store.
No,
And
what?
and the kids get mad at purchasing assets like something like 3,000 euros or something
No
like
way. I hope he used my affiliate code. I'm joking. I'm joking.
yeah.
joking.
Yeah, this happens. But then you know what? The more strange thing is that the purchases were done on April, and he wanted the refund on November.
What?
so okay, I can understand the situation, but didn't you notice that for 6 months?
I tell you what, it's because I don't check my bank statement, anything. I used to always like go through every month. I would inspect every single purchase, and since my wife started managing the online banking, I stopped caring. So I don't check anything anymore. And cunningly, I have all of my asset store purchases via PayPal. So all my wife sees is me topping up a PayPal account and then me going crazy with PayPal balances. So you know.
Oh, okay, because that's the same payment method than Amazon. So so you can differentiate if they are shoes or an asset, right?
Well, it's my wife. She buys Steam, like loads of Steam games or games on the Epic marketplace, and like, well, if I'm purchasing less assets than you're buying games, then we even each other out. But I can appreciate that this guy basically avoided looking at his bank statement for 6 months, and then when he did go to pay some bill, they were like, sorry, you've got no money available. What are you talking about? I should have €3,000 in my account. And he goes look at his account and he's like, I own every single Kronnect asset 10 times. Why has my son bought 10 licenses of Global Snow?
So then he asked for a complete full refund of Sting assets at the same time. Yeah.
You're also on the Unreal now, aren't you? I bumped into on the Unreal marketplace.
Yeah, we started exploring that because we think that there was an opportunity there in terms of creating some different effects, because the story of Beautify is very different because the timing, right?
Beautify is lovely, by the way. I think I've got an exclamation mark just made for Beautify. Beautify. Yeah, the original Beautify. I haven't really used Beautify 2 yet, but Beautify 1 was my number one asset I would import on every single project I would ever use in Unity. It was one of the only ways I was able to get Unity looking lovely. When people saw my screenshots or videos of like the Wild West stuff I was wearing, like, well, how does it look so nice? What post-processing are you using? I'm using Beautify. What's that? Let me show you what it is. And it really is. It was beautiful, hence the name, Beautify. And I think I bought it in a sale many years ago. I think the first year it came out. But anyway, I interrupted you because I was so excited by Beautify. Please tell me the story behind Beautify.
No, yeah, I remember I was investigating a new ambient occlusion effect by that time, and I was not happy with the performance because traditional ambient occlusion requires too many samples, and this is not very friendly from a cache perspective, and at that time it was quite slow, and then I started exploring other options to improve the image, and I remember that I noticed that Unity had this blur aspect of the image, right? The textures were quite blurred, and they didn't look quite nice. So I have this.
That's a very polite, sweet way of saying it.
Yeah, but I thought, okay, maybe the bilinear filtering is the culprit here. So what if we try to reverse the bilinear filtering? So I was just trying different things, and eventually Beautify basically pop in my screen after some days testing this approach. So, and I shared the results with some colleagues, like the author of HBAO asset.
Oh,
yeah, he's a colleague from that time. And I sent a few screenshots to him and others, and everyone was telling me, "Oh, this is big, man. This is a big hit. This is incredible." And yeah, I was perfectioning this for a few weeks, and yeah, I was quite happy with the result, and honestly, quite surprised that this didn't happen before on the asset store. And I have to recognize that this algorithm is completely genuine. It's not a copy from everywhere. And yeah, I think that I have some credit for it. And
so how long did it take you to make that?
The core of Beautify was like 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
No way! Shut the front door. 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. That was the core itself. But then I had this nice performance effect because it just required 4 texture samples, and yeah, it was so versatile because we could do more things, more samples, add more effects in the same pass. So yeah, we can create this Uber shader that that was completely easy to use and make an instant change on your screen. And yeah, so I think that the first version of Beautify took like 2 months in total. But yeah, it has been a crazy ride since then because Beautify gets updated every month with new, improvements, fixes, new effects. And it's a completely beast right now, honestly, because it has lots of functionality for the price. Honestly.
And you've got Beautify 2 that's just come out as well.
Yeah, that's the same issue that we talk about Volumetric Fog Mist too, because Unity invented this thing of new scriptable rendering pipelines.
And it's wonderful, isn't it? It's made our life so much easier. It is perfect. And Kronnect, I'm just going to interrupt you for one moment because we've been raided by the fabulously beautiful Honest Dan Games. Now, Honest Dan has been doing a game jam, and he's also been raising a lot of money for a wonderful charity, Young Minds, that's helping with young people with depression, mental illnesses, and basically 2020 has been very traumatic for people who may not even realize that they were suffering before, and things are getting a lot worse for young people out there. Myself, my experiences with young people with depression, I've witnessed a lot of it when I was in the army for a short period, and there's a huge rate of young kids without support, needing basically just someone to listen to, and these charities do an amazing work. So it's something very, very close to my heart, and they've raised over 2,000. I mean, how much money did Dan raise at the end of it? That epic streams, and with the wonderful singing, his beautiful singing voice as well. That Honest Dan was singing along on Twitch, saying there was like 2,500 last time I looked, or thereabouts. It was an amazing job. And it was also in this game jam. Kronnect, he's doing a game jam that people like Wizards Don't Code was making games into the game. 2,300 in the end. Honest Dan, is a huge amount. Oh, congratulations, man. So proud of you and everyone who contributed, and all the game jammers who entered the game jam as well. Hats off to you. You did far better than I started. I started to enter in the game jam, but I wasn't able, as always, to push my my beast over the end, and literally it was a shambles. So I failed miserably, and can't wait to see the games anyone else has played. People in the chat, if you haven't seen Honest Dan before, he not only does is he a Unity genius, he's also made the transition seamlessly into the world of Unreal, and we're talking at the moment with Kronnect, !Kronnect in chat, who not only is on the Unity asset store, but has recently moved over to have some assets on Unreal. Now, Kronnect, what has the difference been like for you? And we're going to get into the coding in a moment, but as a publisher, what has been the difference between selling on Unity and selling for Unreal?
Well, I would say that the Unity has more. Well, there are two key differences probably. One is the mass of the market. There probably are like a 10% of potential buyers on the Unreal Marketplace compared to the Unity.
Really? Wow.
I
thought everyone now is like, with Unreal's this big name, all the news about Unreal 5, that there'll be loads of people over there, but it's so much smaller than over on the Unity.
Yeah, I think so, but of course it's my experience. I don't sell models or 3D art, so maybe that those models are more demanded on Unreal, right? But from my perspective or my experience, the market in Unity in terms of asset store is way much more mature and expanded than Unreal. I think that the Unity is like 2 years ahead of Unreal in terms of market size, the asset store itself, the tools they give to publishers, and the platform itself. And this is a very important differentiator because Unity was designed as a platform. And it has initially very few tools to make your game shine. So they rely on the asset store.
That's a very sweet way of saying it. They give you an empty box and expect you to make it pretty.
Yeah, and it's completely opposite on Unreal, right? Because in Unreal you had this post-processing integrated from the beginning that already does a lot of things. And historically, Unreal has been touted as a pretty much beautiful engine that Unity. And things are getting pair-to-pair, right? Really. But Unreal is, for me, is more like a big Hdrp with a lot of customization. And this means that there's some stuff that is not very well designed in terms of what you can do as a publisher, because if you want to get to certain core aspects of the engine, you have to code in C++ and do custom models and compile or recompile the engine. It's not easy to pack an asset that has a lot of code in C++ and release it to the Unreal Marketplace.
Yeah, C++ is not very forgiving. You C#, it's like it strokes your hair and it whispers soothingly in your ear, don't worry, you made a mistake. I know what you were trying to say. I'll fix it for you. Whereas C++ says, you did it wrong, smacks you over the head with a ruler, and it's that teacher that says, do it again 50 times, face the wall. So it feels very different using C++ to using C#.
Yeah, the funny thing is that I think Unity is following that that problematic path, because the problem is that what you can do in blueprints in Unreal is limited in scope. You can do really stuff that can replace the engine. If you want to replace a core engine aspect, you have to code at a very low level and replace some models or code in C++ and so on. Certain functionality is not available in blueprints. And in Unity, we are starting to see this trend because they give us the shader graph, right? You have the shader graph, but you cannot program all kinds of shaders using shader graph. And they don't give you a common language to create shaders in Universal Render Pipeline, for instance. You have to use some templates. They give you. So in the end, you have to decide if you create a shader using the shader graph or create a low-level shader that may break in the future. And I think this is a problem with or a limitation from an architecture point of view. But well, let's see. Honestly, I think the team behind the Universal Render Pipeline is doing very great, being transparent and accepting all kind of feedback from publishers and other developers. And I think they are adding more and more features to allow us to create more interesting stuff for this kind of rendering pipelines.
Well, you've given me the courage to feel brave enough. I've loaded up a URP project, and I've put in the Mana Stations dungeon, multi-story dungeon kit. Exclamation! If anyone in chat wants to do an exclamation Mana dungeon, see if I've spelled it correctly with one N for Mana, M-A-N-A, dungeon, all one word, and you get a link to the Mana Stations dungeon pack. And I put the settings and stuff. I'm really bad with the settings for this new shader render pipeline, and for some reason I was seeing some grey walls and some weird but it'll be good enough for the basis of this video, I think. How the hell did why is it not work? How have I spelled it? How have I spelled the word dungeon? No, let me tell you what. I can't. Mana. No, it's spelled correct. Mana Dungeons. Mana Dungeons. Mana Dungeons with an S. Zzz. Zzz. Mana Dungeons. Dungeons. Mana Dungeons with an S. Yeah, I should have done a Mana Station. You're right. I'm an idiot. Never mind. I'm an idiot. And Dan says that it gives you meaningful red squiggles on the fly with C#. C++ is more like, I'm going to let you do it wrong so you can learn about your mistake. I won't tell you what's wrong. I'll give you abstract hints. C++ just feels like it's a disappointed teacher that just is like, I'm just disappointed in you. You know you can do better than this. You need to work yourself out, and then they just beats you, smacks you about the head. Victory is mine, says Jonan. All right, so I've also, for those people who are a little bit confused when they import in these assets, much like Kronnect and Mana Stations were doing the same thing. If I go into the Highlight Plus, you get a README file. Okay, then the README file says, look, you got two versions. Don't be a numpty. Basically, this is what it says. You got two versions. It's pretty obvious which one you need to use. I didn't even read this README file because one of them says built-in, one of them said URP. I was like, this is a URP project. You know what? I'm gonna import this URP package file. It wasn't rocket science. I have to tell you, people, it wasn't rocket science. If I can work it out, dear God, I'm sure you can too. And it was the same for the volumetric lights, the shader control. I didn't do any of that, but it's got a README here, and the README, when I clicked on it, had a lot of writing. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to read this because there's too much writing. But also, the README says there's a PDF. So the README has just told me to read the documentation because people need to know how to read files. This is where we are now. Okay, everyone, it's 2020. We're still giving people 1-star reviews on the asset store because they don't read anything. Not even a README that links them to the document PDF. How scary is that? All right, the last one I've imported in is Beautify, and that's got a README, and it's got. Did I do the? Let me double click. Maybe I didn't even. I think I did import it because I can see a load of folders here. Yeah, nothing to import. I've done it all. Brilliant. So it's not complex. One question I've got to you, Kronnect, can I use all of these in the same project now? All right, I've got Beautify and I've got Volumetric Lights.
Yeah, you can pretty do that. Yeah.
Right, so before I do that, what the heck is shader control?
Well, shader control is an editor extension. It basically scans your project and tell you what shaders are consuming more keywords.
No, because oh no, really? What? No, hang
Yeah.
on a minute. Cool, wait, okay, 1 minute. Okay, 1 second. Okay, listen to this, right? Because obviously I'm doing my cyberpunk thing again because I'm inspired again because the cyberpunk came out, right? So I've started up my cyberpunk project, and since I did it last, I've purchased about 50 more cyberpunk style or sci-fi assets. Especially with the last sale, I spent far too much money buying cyberpunk stuff. Now, I got a message telling me I've exceeded all my keywords, right? Because of the limit that Unity has. It says you've got too many keywords. I'm going home now. So I'm stuck, and I'm going through thinking, how do I delete shaders? I'm manually making shading, materials, use different shaders now. And I'm thinking, what do I do? I've basically imported in about 50 gigabytes worth of art using 20 different shaders, right? No lie, it's ridiculous. Are you telling me that I've had shader control in my library that I could have imported and fixed all of my problems?
Yeah, hopefully we'll solve most of that problems. Yeah. Yeah, not only that, because shader control already, it also gives you another benefit, and it's the build times. Yeah, when you build that project with so many shaders, you will probably spend like hours compiling your project, right?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so there are two aspects here. One is the limit of 256 keywords limit, and the other aspect is the trash that your app gets when it is compiling so many shaders that you won't be using in your game.
Yeah, exactly.
Because note that when you are building your game, there are a lot of resources, right? Resources folders, and everything in those resources folders are compiled and included in your app. So this is an issue on mobile because you want your app to be as small as possible, right?
Yes, I do.
So yeah, heavy shaders that use a lot of keywords tend to create a lot of variant of that shader, and some shaders can take several megabytes, right? So yeah, shader control will not only help you to reduce or get under that limit of global keywords, but also will allow you to have a speedier compilation times. Yeah.
Oh. Now, Sengoku says shader control does not always help with that. He's referring to me having lots of different shaders from different assets and wanting to like reduce the number of shaders that I'm using. Now, my problem is I've got two problems. One is this limit for the shader keywords, and also coupled with all of these unused shaders that I've got in my project. And the other problem is I want to unify my models using the same, reduce the number of shaders so I've got 10 different packs. I want to use the same shaders for those things. Can shader control identify which shaders are being used and then swap them for a different shader on a prefab or on a material rather, or is it not able to do that?
Yeah, well, shader control can show you two kind of analysis. One is the build analysis, which will tell you what has been actually included in your last build, and the project analysis, which basically goes through the entire project sources and will tell you what do you have in your project. So yeah, you can see which shaders have not been included in your build easily. There is a checkbox for that. So you can simply go to those shaders and delete them completely. And if you don't need that in your scenes. The other aspect of shader control is to disable some keywords related to feature that you want to use. For instance, let's say that you have some Uber shader or some.
Let's go into it now. So I've got it imported in. So how do I find it?
Well, if you have imported it, you should be able to access shader control from the edit menu, and there is an option called browse shaders.
Browse shaders. Did I? Now the question is, did I stick it in? I import shader. Okay. Should I read the README?
Yeah, probably.
I'm allergic to reading. There's a demo file as well. I'll click the demo file. Save my changes. There's a big purple. Look at that. It's big and purple. It's a big pink thing. Okay. So, edit, browse.
No, right. If you go to the assets top menu, not edit.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Browse shaders. I found it.
Yeah, browse shaders. It will open the main window, right?
There it is, over on the right-hand side. You know what? I'm going to share my screen with you on Skype, and that way it'll be quicker for you.
Yeah.
You won't have that lag, and then you can see my windows that I'm opening up as well. Okay, so generic monitor. If you see anything that you shouldn't see, don't worry about it. It was my 8-year-old son with my credit card on the asset store. It wasn't me. And we just had I didn't get audio notification coming in, but Dan V cool, thank you for the sub. Don't forget, link your Discord and your Twitch account, and then on Discord you will get magical access to the super secret place that many other people can't see, because the subscribers can download code to my tutorials that I do, and also we can do these fun game where we play games together as well. What the heck was that? Okay, that was the headphones falling down. So now I've got build view, project view. Click these things here, and then I need to make a build, and then it will do the analysis after I've done the build.
Yeah, because there is some text there.
There is some text. I didn't read any of it.
Yeah. So basically, shader control can let you know what's in your project, right? What asset have you imported? What shaders are in your project? What keywords are being used by those shaders?
It spies on you.
Yeah, that's the project view panel, or tab. But then there is a lot of hidden stuff being included by Unity, from packages which are imported from the package manager, or internal shaders, right? And global keywords used by Unity itself, which are not used by shaders that are included in assets from the asset store. To give you a clue, Unity tells us that we have 256 keywords linked.
Yeah. But they use 252 of them for themselves, is what you're saying?
Yeah, if you import post-processing stack, or you use Hdrp pipeline, probably you are left with 100 slots less.
Cheeky
right?
buggers.
Yeah. So it's more important than ever to be able to catch those shaders that you won't be using and remove them, right? So this those are the list of all shaders in your project, right? What are you listing now? And those are the keywords used by Beautify, for instance. So you can simply click on the left checkbox next to each keyword below them,
and then turn them on and off.
Exactly, and you can.
But how do I know if they're being used or I've broken them?
Oh, that's true. So you should be careful about that.
Yeah.
Usually the name of the keyword should be self-explanatory, but it gives you hints at least, so you can contact the author and ask him, hey, can I get rid of those keywords? It basically gives you insights or hints about where can you start to clean your project.
If I just start unticking, can I tick them back?
Well, that's a read-only file, so you won't be able to change that shader because it's protected by the Unity file system. So even if you change that and save the changes, some shaders used by some packages from the package manager, like Hdrp pipeline, will be reverted upon next start, right? So you should start, the workflow is open shader control, go to project view, start checking the shaders using the most keywords, and first see if you can remove the shader completely or disable at least some keywords from it. And the keyword removal, the nice thing is that shader control is able to modify the shader source automatically for you. You don't have to edit it.
What's this prune keyword?
Yeah, it will remove that keyword reference from materials in the scene.
List. Oh, look, list. This is what I was looking for. List the materials. Oh. So it's a bit, well, it tells you where they are. It tells you what they are. It lets you turn them off temporarily, but unless you physically go in and remove them, sometimes you might not have removed that keyword 100%.
Yeah, you can freely try it. You can uncheck that feature, click save, and the shader simply won't work, right? When that feature is used. But most of the time, you simply won't get the result on the screen. It won't give you scripting errors or so on because the shader runs separately. So that is usually not an issue. But you click save and the shader control will make a backup automatically for you, and you can restore the shader to the original format automatically. So it's completely safe, no problem at all. And
this is a really small project, right? And look how many shaders it's found in this really small project. I'm scared now that when I load it up in the big project, this list is going to be so big, it's going to be too much for me to handle. Shorties, thank you for the sub. Again, I didn't hear it. It's bizarre. I didn't hear it come through again. Thank you so much. Did anyone in chat hear the thing come up? Did anyone else hear it? Did anyone hear it in chat? I didn't hear it. So is this sorted by the most used? Like
you have a sort by filter on top of the inspector.
There's not that.
Yeah.
Here it is. Oh, but yeah, I can see it. I can see now. So I can change that to count, name, keyword. Oh, I can search by keywords or the materials. Exactly. Oh, that's brilliant. Bloody hell, look how many materials there are. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared to open this. Exclamation mark prizes! Exclamation mark, how to win that off. Exclamation mark. Although we shouldn't do an exclamation. You know what? There's too many prizes to do that. There's too many prizes going on to do an exclamation mark prizes. But I tell you what we will do. Because Kronnect is so lovely, we'll give away a copy of. What are we giving away a copy of? The Highlight Plus. Shadow Control. We're giving away a copy of Shadow Control Kronnect.
That's cool, yeah.
We're giving away a copy of Volumetric Lights too, I believe.
Why not? Yeah. It's Saturday, right?
Exactly. And do you want to do? Should we do a Beautify too?
Yeah. Okay.
Because Beautify again, it's the best, one of the best assets ever made for Unity. I have to say. I'm not just saying that because I've said that many times. When Kronnect's not here, and it is one of those purchases. I've purchased many assets over the years. My wife is not in chat. Let me just check. Nope, she's not in chat. So I've purchased many assets over the years. 90% of them I either don't use or used once or twice and never go back to. Right. Beautify is that one asset that every single project I load up, I stick Beautify in. I feel awkward now for not having used Beautify before. It really is amazing. And you know what? I'm going to go back into the other scene, because as much as shader control is amazing, I'm a little bit scared of it at this point, because, like you're saying, we can turn stuff on and off, and it gives us a visual, like, summary here of what we're using in the project. Obviously, you need to know, and you need to understand and work out, contact the developer who made the original shader. Is it safe to turn these keywords on and off? Or just do what I'm going to do later tonight and just randomly untick things and see what breaks. Because let's be honest, 90% of us who are in chat now are just going to randomly click things and wonder what's going to happen, because that's how things work. So I'm going to go back into the scene of Manor Station's first person demo. It's very pretty scene. I baked his light. Did I make another save? No, it's that one. So I thought I did the lighting for it. The light's turned off now. So as I go in, yep, looking pretty. Now that's how it looks at the moment. Now I'm gonna go to my FPS controller that is in here, and inside there is the camera. That's it. Now this, I'm going to be using Beautify too. So as a new user in Beautify 2, am I just going to go to all of Beautify settings, like just dragging in that, or are we doing something different now?
No, it's
URP.
Yeah, it's different. If you are using URP, you need to go to you need to go to the profile, right? Or create a volume, a post-processing volume.
Okay.
And then add the Beautify effects override to that volume.
Oh, all right. So I know nothing about URP. Okay, I'm absolute URP virgin. So tell me what to click, and I will click it.
Yeah, well, you can create a volume. You have a demo scene. If you want to show that demo scene first.
Okay. Yeah, let's show the demo scene.
Yeah, inside the URP folder. And it's self.
Which one? The blending?
The simple scene, the scene simple. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you first have to add the Beautify render feature to the URP. Yeah, this happens because in URP you have to configure the pipeline first, because that is not done by default when you open an URP project. So you have to go to the project settings first.
Really? I know none of this. I don't do any of this nonsense. URP is the work of the devil. So okay, I go to build settings. I go to player settings.
Go to the graphics go to edit project setting graphics section.
Graphics.
Yeah, you have a Universe RP high quality, for instance. Double click that asset on the top.
This one here. I'm going to double click you. What's going to happen now? Here he is, down here.
Yeah.
So it's only on the right-hand side.
Expand the general. Exactly. You have a forward renderer, right? On the top. You have to double click there.
Okay, so this.
Yeah.
This thing here.
Yeah, double click that.
I'm doing a lot of double clicking today.
Yeah. Okay. Then finally click Add Render Feature.
Add Render Feature. And then it asks me, do I want a render object?
You have the
Beautify render. Oh, I can just click that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the way you integrate new effects in the pipeline in URP, right?
Really?
Yeah. So now, if you click on the game view, you should see the effects.
Oh!
Boom! Yeah. It's a bit convoluted.
I was going to say, why did that? I mean, it used to be a little bit of a pain before, but now it's just weird. So if I wanted now to add different effects and stuff, how do I do that? You've taken me into a new world I never walked down before. I have to say, you've opened my eyes to a new experience of double clicking, Kronnect. Thank you for that.
Sorry for that.
All right,
Yeah.
so now we're in, and it's got this effect. So if I push T, turns it on or off. So what does C compare? Oh, that's nice. B for a blinking effect. Oh, okay. And then to customize the effect, select post-processing game object and scroll down. So that's the language that I remember. So
Oh, yeah.
here,
One question: are you streaming this desktop?
yes, everyone can see what you can see.
Oh, okay, because I can see that on Twitch right now.
Is it
Sure.
not working? Is it working for everyone on the stream? Is it frozen? No, I think it's working. Wrong blinking. Why is it the wrong blinking? Sengoku says it's wrong blinking. We see Unity fine. Okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, yeah, the blink effect is is a function of the new Beautify, which basically use the vignette effect along other transformation to create that blinking feeling, like if you were inside the head of the
so you're basically doing your vignette setting so much that it goes and does maximum. So
think about VR, right? Like you are in virtual reality environment and you are kind of blinking inside that environment. It creates some immersion. It's cool.
So now, before, see, here we go. Nice big Beautify. Go to Universal Rendering Pipeline Asset. Okay, what happens if I click that? Oh, we got back into here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a shortcut that Beautify adds for you, so you don't have to go to the double-click route.
So mistakes.
Yeah, basically, Beautify is telling you that some effects require the depth texture active in the Universal Render Pipeline asset. So you have to go there and enable that option.
I get you. Now we've got a sub. We got sorry, Kronnect. Just got to say thank you to Geronimo. Yeah, I've got to say thank you to Geronimo. And I've just butchered your name, Geronimo. It's like I'm like really good, Geronimo, but no, it's Geronimo. I just got images now of Native American Mo Sislak from The Simpsons. All right, so thank you very much. 5 months in a row, and now I actually heard you come in my ear. Thank you for coming straight into my ear. I heard you perfectly. So Beautify now. If I open up all of these little windows, these little slidey downies menu items. So we've got general settings at the top here. And I can disable. Oh, so that's the toggles. That's your toggle of the T. That's just saying I'm going to turn. And these are exposed. Are these public, or have you just got a function that I can call that would interact with these?
Yeah, those are the quick toggles for testing purpose, right? It just let you compare the results against the regular rendering, and those performance and optimization options are really new features in this Beautify for Universal Render Pipeline, and they are pretty interesting in terms of the time you spend compiling your application, because you notice there is a toggle on top which reads optimize Unity post-processing build as well.
Oh, yes.
Right? Yeah. So what that means? It means that if you are not using post-processing effects, Beautify for Urp can disable them. Pretty much like shader control does, right? So you won't have to spend a lot of time waiting for the compilation to finish for bloom effects or certain effects from post-processing, because you are not using them and are using Beautifys, right? So, yeah. And Basically, those are like shader controls feature integrated into Beautify for URP. And yeah, the rest of the effects are pretty much the stack, the common stack found in Beautify, like the sharpen effect with all of its options to control the effect. And yeah, the color grading or the color grading options are analytical, meaning that they are not LUT based, so they are faster because they don't need to use a LUT texture or create a LUT texture, right? So if you are just using Beautify at a very simple level on mobile, that will be faster than using post-processing.
I was just because I always whenever I'm using Beautify, and then I go, I've got like assets of loads of LUTs, and I always go like and then go like that, and then stick in my LUTs from the other assets that I've got, because I've got them, so I feel like I might as well use them because I've got them. But you're saying you don't need to use them because it can handle that itself.
Yeah. So yeah, for instance, you want to enhance the saturation of your image or apply some sepia effect or tinting color or so on. Those effects are implemented inside the Ever shader as using code. It doesn't use any any LUT, so it doesn't need to sample any texture. So it would be a bit faster, but just a bit. It's not so much important. But yeah, all of these effects are combined in the final pass of Beautify. So that means that they are almost free in terms of performance. And yeah, we recently added the ability to exclude certain layers. This is a feature that many users ask, how can they exclude some objects from Bloom, right?
So because you don't want everything to be bloomed.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just have these objects in a separate layer. And
well,
yeah,
what's that like in performance? Is that now gonna eat up?
Yeah, it requires an additional depth prepass, of course, but only for those objects. Then Beautify will do the internal comparisons to check which pixels are being excluded or not, of course. But it's not a pretty big deal because it's as long as you don't exclude all this thing, of course, that will not be the best way to use that feature. But yeah, it's very useful for many cases.
Do you know what my favorite thing about in Beautify is? I sit there and I just randomly click things and I move the sliders until it looks like I want it to look. Right? That's my technique of working. But I can't see now how to save my settings. So I've got them basically. If I go now, click all these, and I want to save them into a file so I can use them in another project later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the profile linked to that volume. If you scroll up, you will see that all of this is part of this demo profile volume, right?
Oh, so it's automatically saving, so I don't have to worry about clicking.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, cool.
You are modifying the profile, right?
Brilliant. I love it. Oh, Grant Cobra says it's 1 a.m. in my country and he has to get up early tomorrow. But Grant Cobra, you got good timing because we've only just started playing, and we're going to be playing with a lot more. Now, one of the things that with Beautify, as much as I love it, I've got a load of post-processing files and profiles from other assets that I've got for Unity, right? So for their post-processing stack. But if I don't want to use Unity's post-processing, I want to use Beautify. In the past, I've manually opened up both of them side by side and tried to copy them over one by one. Like each setting visibly. Okay, one of the Unity post-processing's got Bloom set to whatever. I now set it to 0.8 in here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you made a tool? Is there ever going to be a tool that I can just convert from the Unity's post-processing into Beautify?
Well, no, I haven't think about that honestly,
Please,
but
I've got about 500, and I tell you no lie, 500 profiles at least for Unity's
yeah,
post-processing.
we
And I
can check
want
it
to
out.
just, I can't manually move them all. And I was thinking about making some kind of, you know,
Yeah,
regex type converter myself.
convert. Yeah.
Come on, do it.
Yeah.
Come on. You made Beautify in a weekend. You could do this.
Well, we can check that, of course. Yeah. Why not?
Brilliant. That's my request for the day. There you go. If anyone else has got any more, Kronnect is in a giving mood. If anyone else has any requests for cheats for features, throw them in the chat. Well, I'm going to go back into the multi-story dungeon, right? Because I want to see what it's like to start. Don't save what I've changed here. So I've got now this dungeon now. Do I now go back all the steps that we had previously, or do I just dragging the profile into here
For what?
to add Beautify now into this demo scene? So
Yeah, you no, because if the camera has first try to locate the camera.
Okay, here's the camera.
Okay, the camera has expand the rendering section on inside the camera. Exactly, it isn't using post processing, right? You have to tick that checkbox. Post processing checkbox.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, you have to tick that checkbox. Then the render features, the post-processing system will start working, and the render feature will be injected in those post-processing passes. So now you have to create a volume, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I've got this object called post-processing volume. It's got nothing in it, although it's got a box collider. I don't know why. I'm going to remove this box collider.
Yeah, so just create a volume, add component volume. Yeah, that's it.
There we go.
Yeah, and assign the profile.
Which one was it? Demo profile?
For instance, yeah. And just it's global. Yeah. Yeah. So it should be enough, but I think
sun flares. Lovely. Put some of those on. What do you want me to do? What shall I click? Oh, depth of field. Everyone loves the depth of field. No, I won't put it on.
Yeah.
Can you see the?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. So now it should be working. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be working unless there is another setting we are missing, and you have the post processing and the volume. You have it ticket that is global, right?
Mode is set to global. Yeah.
Right. So just check if you have this. Go to the universal rendering pipeline asset, okay, and yeah, it should be working right now. I'm checking this demo scene. What's the difference? Because
let's click play.
Is that the camera, which is?
So this is the. Yeah. This is him. Default renderer. Some default renderer for the forward renderer. Anti-aliasing set to none. What should I set it to? Should I set it to fast, approximate, anti-aliasing? Yeah, let's always do that. Everyone loves that. Okay, so if I go now to my post-processing, is layer set right? It's blank on the volume. Good idea. Why is it set? Okay, so add a layer, post-processing. Right, I've got a layer now. I'm going to set my layer. So if I go back to my camera. So this is the other weird thing. Now with this new render pipeline nonsense, how do I tell it what layer?
The volume. Yeah, this should be something in the camera. Check the camera environment, the volume mask, and check if it is matching the layer mask as well. You have to expand the scroll down environment. Right. You have the volume mask default.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you should be.
Should I change that to my new post-processing volume then that I've made?
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, that's
now we can see
the missing bit. Yeah.
So this is why this new URP stuff, I'm never going to get my head around it, because it's learning an extra button, and I'm too old to learn an extra button. I'm used to my other buttons. Here we go. There's my bloom.
Nice. Yeah. Anamorphic flares. Yeah.
There's my blooms. Lovely. And there's my flares coming in. Lovely. All right. So we can I can tone that down a touch. I love that. I love that little line. I love that little line. All right. So let's tone those down a little touch. And tone these down a little. That's better. Tone it down a touch. Ooh. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put that up. I'm going to put my threshold up. About there. This is going into my dungeons right now. Exactly. This Beautify is lovely. Oh, night vision enabled.
Yeah, those are 2 clicks, right? Enable and the checkbox to the right. Yeah, because the first one is telling the system that you are overriding the option, and then you have to say if you want it enable on or off, right? Exactly. It's like it works in the new post-processing URP, right?
Are you enjoying URP? Do you not use the built-in one anymore? Are you like you're converted?
Yeah, about 90%. Not a very fan of certain aspect of it, because it lacks some documentation and some. But I think it's going into the good direction right now. At least they are letting us, the publishers, to add new features to the engine, which is basically what we wanted to do very few months ago. So I think it's going through the good direction right now, because it allows to check how it's running inside the rendering game loop, right? So you have more visibility about those tiny details. Before there was a black box, right? You never know if why the depth texture was going inverted when you enable anti-aliasing, for example. So for developers, I think it's a nice to have, but it still needs some feature parity regarding to the built-in, because there are some features that are missing in ERP, like spotlight cookies, for instance. There is no spotlight cookies.
Really?
There isn't that feature. So in fact, in Volumetric Lights, we added support for spotlight cookies, and we are waiting for Unity to add cookie support in URP, to add this feature to Volumetric Lights for URP as well. So there's an effect that is often misunderstood, which is a Purkinje Effect.
I love that one, because I just click it and then I go and just start randomly pushing buttons.
Yeah, you know what is Purkinje? Purkinje was the guy who discovered this retina effect. It seems that our eyes tend to to go into monochromatic mode when you are in dark areas, right? So, and we have this blue tint when you are in complete dark areas. So yeah, the idea is of Purkinje shift is to recreate this retina effect. So if you move your camera and go to behind a shadow or under a dark area, the whole scene will turn into a monochromatic blue tint, right? But yeah, you need to, it depends on the setting.
Yeah. You can see, if anyone can see.
Yeah, exactly. That should be the way you see in real life when you are in pitchy black, for instance.
Now, Wizard Uncode says, when do I use HDRP versus URP? And this is the point. What is the difference? Because I know one difference between URP and HDRP, and I'll tell everyone in chat the one difference that I know between URP and HDRP. URP is more stable and has less dramatic changes that break it compared to HDRP. That's the only difference I know between the two. So, in your wisdom, Kronnect, what is the difference between HDRP and URP, and when should you use each version?
That's a good question because I think Unity has changed a bit recently, but I think the difference is in the strategy behind each of these pipelines. They are being built by separate teams, so
really?
the code.
So the two URP and HDRP is by two different teams.
Exactly. The code has nothing in common between the two pipelines, and they have some kind of conversion in certain core aspects. But the whole pipeline is being coded by separate teams, and I think Unity told the HDRP team, okay, don't mind too much about performance, but make sure this is going to be big in terms of graphics. Make use of latest technologies like ray matching, real-time reflections, and so on, right?
So like cinematic stuff that they could be doing.
Exactly. So yeah, it leverages high-end hardware, right? And URP is supposed to be the natural replacement for the built-in pipeline sometime in the future. So yeah, they started creating this pipeline that should be faster, but then they realized that they needed also to give parity with regards to the built-in pipeline. They couldn't replace built-in if they don't give the same functionality. So I think that it's quite challenging for them because they are realizing that this is becoming a very big endeavor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because the built-in itself packs a lot of features, and I have this impression that they are discovering what is missing. As they walk the road, right? So yeah, I think that they try to get to a point where there will be some small difference, but I think most people will be able to switch without many headaches. Yeah.
Oh my word. Well, Anchor in chat says with enough, that's the keyword, with enough optimization, HDRP can work fine with console and VR. I'm scared of the word enough optimization.
Yeah, well,
you don't support HDRP. You're supporting URP though. With your stuff. Are you? Or are you doing both?
Some effects. In some effects, I'm adding basic HDRP support. For instance, there is a very basic version of Beautify for HDRP. There is also a Sunflares asset created for Hdrp as well. But I have stopped there because the team is completely changing the core and the syntax of the shader API library. So it's kind of risky to get involved too much in Hdrp from my point of view at this moment. In fact, I had a conversation with some of the team members, and because we wanted to migrate global snow for Hdrp. And in order to do so, we need to access the gbuffers directly. Because, well, it's a bit more technical, but global snow leverages the fact that you can write and read from gbuffers, right, in deferred rendering mode. And in Hdrp, you can do that at this moment. There are some limitations. You can't work with the normals buffers. You can work with diffuse layers, depth buffers, but you don't have the same level of access. So yeah, I was chatting with some of the team about this possibility, and they told me, yeah, that could be done, but we are writing how the gbuffers are probably exposed or named, and we plan to do this during the next year.
So, that's crazy.
Yeah, so basically they tell you that it's possible, but there is no time frame to embrace that change. And from a publisher perspective, this is a problem.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, of course, because you can do whatever you want with your project, right? You can decide to stick with 2021 version of Unity for the rest of your game. But publishers need to keep, up with the latest published version of Unity. And this is crazy when you go, you mess into this kind of dynamic environment where they change everything every quarter, right? So yeah, at this moment I'm not doing more hardcore stuff for Hdrp and until they settle the pipeline. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Let's put it. Wait, I tell you what. So no, switch to HTTP. Yeah, exactly. So don't switch to HTTP for the time being. In chat, hold off any major changes you might be planning on doing. So we've got a couple of other assets that I want to play about with because I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
I think got your message about you can't. So you might be paused actually on the stream if you're.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't see anything moving, Kronnect, on the Twitch, you might have paused the Twitch stream. I'm not too sure if you have or not, but you can see me on the Skype. So that's all that's important. Fresh Meat's going to be right back. Fresh Meat. I'll wait for Fresh Meat to come back in 5 minutes. I'm just about to do the first giveaway for Beautify. We're going to give away a copy of Beautify 2, and as I mentioned before, it is my go-to asset, or the Beautify 1 is, because I don't use URP, so I just use... Quick, do the raffle while he's away. I feel bad. Right, so I'm going to put in the lighting now. So how do I put in...
Yeah, you refer to the volumetric
exactly,
light.
Because look at all this peeking in. I think that would be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it will require less clicking. Just import the volumetric light for URP package.
So that's in my... so I've got that in the project.
All right. So just go to any light of your wish.
Can I do the big sunny sunlight in the sky? Where's the directional light?
Yeah, you can do that, but yeah, it will. Right. You can volumetric
is that a bad idea?
No, basically you are. No, it's not a bad idea, but it's not optimized for that, right? Because volumetric light focus is on local lights, meaning that you should use it for point lights, spotlights, and area lights, right?
Okay.
So you can use it for disc-shaped lights or rectangular area lights. And you can also use it for directional lights, but it will work better if you have this closed environment, because in this case, volumetric lights will create an area light, enclosing the volume you want.
You know what? Right? I'm gonna chuck it in and see what happens.
So, yeah, just go for any. Okay.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it on the main one just to see what happens.
Okay. Add component. Yeah. Click that and add volumetric light. Right.
So I create a fog area.
Yeah, it tells you what I just was telling you. It's recommend you to create a volumetric area that covers the environment.
So I've done the entire world. Okay, so depth texture option is required in universal rendering pipeline. Depth texture option is required. So I need to go to here and tick this depth texture.
Exactly.
That was pretty straightforward.
That's all. Then you can enable the shadows option, for instance.
Where's that? Shadows. Okay. Distance 50.
Go to the volumetric light component.
Ah, the volumetric light one. So that's on my directional light. Where the heck did I stick it? What? Did I stick it on the wrong thing? I think I stuck it on the wrong thing. Direction. Did I stick it on the wrong? I stuck it on the wrong thing, didn't I? What did I stick the directional light on?
You should pick another light, right?
Yeah, I did something. I put it somewhere and I don't even remember where I stuck it. I thought I had something. I'm going to click undo. Keep undoing stuff until I think. Undo. Right, where do we stick it? Volumetric light area here. Okay. Undo. No, it wasn't the directional light. Okay, weird. All right, so I'm going to do what Sanyo says and just do point lights. So if I go, I've got a load of point lights. If I do it on all the point lights, is that bad? Do I just make one?
No, it should work as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got all my point lights. Volumetric light, and then I'm going to click on one of them.
Yeah, because you undo the
oh yeah, I undid everything, didn't I? Yeah. Undo. Well done. So now I go back into here, volumetric light, and
yeah, get into it so we can see the effect, right?
Okay, so new volumetric light profile. I've got my profile here from before. So there's my profile. Okay. Have I broken it by doing undo too much?
No, you should just focus on the light to get near to it. Yeah.
Wow. Sure. Okay. Cool.
Over bright, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit bright.
Yeah, because there are a lot of point lights in that room, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, now it's a matter of customizing the appearance, right? Like reducing the brightness. You have brightness set to 1. So yeah, and in the appearance section you have a lot of settings, right?
Yeah, man.
So you can set that to 0.1. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go. That's better. I wonder what room is this? Wonder what room this is. You know what? I'm gonna put my controller here. So I'm gonna go move to view. There he is. Is he in? Oh, he's in the ground. Come on out of the ground. Don't be scared. Okay, so at least now when we start, we'll be here. So here's this point light. What else? Should I just click play now and see what happens?
Yeah, but you should see the effect right now in the scene view, right? So just increase the brightness, probably it's too dark, or yeah, you go set it to 0.5
Oh wow.
or 0.2 or something like that. You just tweak the different effect, because there is a lot of ways to customize the point light effect, including the dust
Oh my God.
part. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. It creates a great ambient here.
Now, I love Aura's volumetric light, but it can become a performance headache.
Yeah, but not in the case of volumetric light, because volumetric light has been designed to be a world space object. As you can see, you can't move it with your light. That means that it is not a post-processing effect, right? So if it is not inside the frustum of the camera, it won't take any performance impact.
Wow.
And even it has a lot of options, like auto disable the effect if you are far than 50 meters, for instance, from it. You have many optimization options like that. You have to enable them in the inspector, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I'm standing here, can I do it in runtime? So now, where's that? Where's that option? Distance. Dust. Enable dust particles. Okay, let's tick that. Enable shadows. Yeah, let's tick that. Let's tick as much stuff as we can tick. So whatever. Where's that ray march quality? In jittering, use blue noise. Yeah, let's click that one as well. Got no idea what I'm clicking. I'm just clicking stuff. Okay, so how do I tell it if I'm that far away? Turn off. Distance fall off. No. Okay, so what should I do?
Yeah, it's let me check, because we have two versions, and I want to make sure that the URP version had these options as well.
So you're just telling me stuff
assets,
that doesn't
right?
exist. All right, so here we.
No, it really exists.
Yeah,
I can tell you. But
like I believe, crazy Spaniard coming here telling me stories about features. URP is not even real. It's a dream. It's a pipe dream. I tell you what, I've avoided URP because I've avoided HDRP. Jason Booth's previously told us that he's felt URP is usable. You can use URP in a professional project. He mentioned before, but HDRP he wouldn't touch it. And now just looking at how you said it's clean. It really is clean. I love the little dust particles you can enable and have them floating around. This is really nice. Really nice. Right, I was about to do a raffle. So while Kronnect's looking at settings to see if they exist or not, I'm gonna get out of this scene and I'm gonna do a raffle for Beautify. So this actually is the first raffle of the season. The first raffle of Messi's 12 Days to Christmas. So I'd like to thank Kronnect for being not only the first guest of the season, but also giving the first prizes of the season as well. So thank you very much, buddy. Much appreciated.
You are welcome, Matt.
Exclamation mark raffle to join. So I've been a Kronnect customer for pretty much the first days I was on the asset store, and I've always been happy with the levels of support that I've got from Kronnect over the years. I've bought far too many gifts for myself that I like to mention, but also I'm very lucky that I've been gifted a few presents from Kronnect as well. Now, I was at one point gonna do some official sponsored videos for some stuff, like for the Voxel play. Unfortunately, with timelines and things, never got round to doing it as a series. But my son asked me the other day if we can make a Lego Minecraft. So I'm thinking maybe I'll start merging in the Lego artwork that you can get now with Unity and Voxel play, and I'm going to make my kids a Lego Minecraft with Voxel Play and Mirror, so that they can play with each other. It'll have to be on the tablet though, so I have to get it working on the Amazon Fire tablet. So yeah, that's going to be a nice project.
Yeah, it should. We are targeting mobile as well with Voxel Play, so yeah, it should work.
I'm going to show. I've actually, you know what? While we're waiting to see if people are going to win stuff, let me load up some art assets I recently purchased. It was oh bugger me! It was in the last sale. What were they called? Art Cube. I'm going to say cube things. Here it is. It's like it's these kind of. It's this guy here. Let me find them and then I'll put it into chat. Isometric blocks. No. I was thinking of doing the Cinti simple stuff. So, I mean, where's my head? Here's my head. So, wrong window. I'll put that into the other browser because that's the wrong browser. So, wasn't Lego Worlds or something like? Yeah, no, the kids have got Lego Worlds. They love Lego Worlds, but for some reason, they also love Minecraft. I think it's the first person view that they want. Lego was even thinking about buying Minecraft at one point. I tell you what, I bet they're kicking themselves that they didn't buy Minecraft. If Lego had bought Minecraft when they would have been well chuffed with the money they spent. So, could I use the Simple Studio, the Cinti Studio simple stuff with Voxel Play?
Absolutely, yeah. Voxel Play supports what we call custom voxels, right? Because in a voxel world, and you want to get certain performance, we have many different voxels, right?
So, Kronnect, you're not allowed to say in a voxel world because now I've got Barbie Girl stuck in my head. Remember that song? I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. So now all I've got in my head as you talk is I'm a voxel girl in a voxel world. Life's fantastic. Voxels are not plastic. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Voxel go.
So
yeah.
You were saying these voxel objects that you've got in Voxel Play, in this voxel world that you've got. If I look, I've got something like this. Okay, these kind of assets. Not actually these, but that I've got like a 3D version of that.
Yeah, you can. I don't want to go into too much details right now, but you can use custom voxel, meaning that you can use any game object as a voxel in Voxel Play. But of course, you can't use it in the same and get the same performance level that you can get with native voxels from Voxel Play, because usually when you render a game object, you can apply the same optimizations. Voxel Play does a lot of jobs in this regard. For example, it can combine the meshes of the adjacent voxels. So the resulting geometry has less triangles, right?
Yes, exactly. So that you can make these huge, massive voxely worlds.
Exactly. You can have a very big wall in front of you, and it is just a couple of triangles in Voxel Play. But if you purchase a pack of these cute voxel game objects, they can be merged. So if you create a very big wall created by a single voxel of this type, you can do that, right? And it will work, but it will be a bit slower.
So right? Why don't I just like these? I mean, this one's a really good, easy one to do, because what I was thinking when I purchased this is that I would just use these materials, these textures in Voxel Play, so there'll still be Voxel Plays voxels, but with these textures applied to them.
Yeah. That's a very good question, and you can do that. In fact, usually, if the voxel component of the piece is a box, of course, you can just plug the textures into the Voxel Play materials, and they will get the benefits. So that's fine. But sometimes these voxels have these bevel edges,
Yes.
or any other curves, and then it's a bit more complicated. So you need to use these custom voxels option, right? But yeah, you can use that. I think we have a video explaining how to use voxels with different shapes inside the Voxel Play. I think you can just jump into our YouTube channel and look for custom voxel in Voxel Play, and you will find this tutorial.
Awesome.
And I think it's quite easy to get. Just the notice that obviously you won't get the same level of optimization that Voxel Play can bring, right? But it will work as long as they are not millions of instances of these custom voxels. It will work fine, because Voxel Play makes use of compute buffers and GPU instancing and many
I
other things.
I was about to say
right?
that with GPU instancing, like, do I need to use something like GPU instancer with Voxel Play, or does it handle it all by itself?
Yeah, it's completely handled by the engine. You don't have to mind about that.
So I've already got like other GPU instancing things. I shouldn't import GPU instancer, the asset GPU instancer into my project. If I've got Voxel Play, I should just leave Voxel Play's own GPU instancing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Voxel Play will detect if the platform it is running supports GPU instancing, and it will use it automatically. So just simply create the voxel definition asset, decide which type of voxel you want. If you want a water-like voxel, or you want a transparent voxel, or you want a opaque voxel, and plug the textures you want into it. And then when play with different settings, like if the voxel can collapse or fall down or whatever. And yeah, Voxel Play will handle of the rendering aspect of the world for you, and we'll try to make the best job here in terms of performance. Like if the voxel definition is compatible with GPU instancing or can be merged with adjacent voxels, it will combine automatically the faces for you, and it will be completely transparent in real time. So it's call it, yeah, it's the technique is called greedy meshing, right? So yeah.
Somebody asked about
Yeah,
another Voxel one, but
the box.
what about if I've made my terrain in something like Gaia, am I able to convert it in Voxel land?
Yeah, you have this option to convert a Gaia generated terrain into Voxel into a Voxel
No,
Play environment, right?
shut the front door. So I can create Voxel. No.
Sure. Not only that, but it can also convert the vegetation and trees into voxel versions.
No.
Yeah.
Be quiet. All right. Of course it can. I did a video on it. So we're gonna announce the winner. Fuzroda. What is that? I don't know what that means. Question: does Highlight Plus work with GPU instance meshed? Very good question. We're going to ask that question just as we've picked the winner. The winner is the first winner of the season.
No, yeah.
Is Geronimo. Geronimo, who subbed today. Geronimo, who subbed. Thank you so much. You are a sub and you're a winner. Amazing. Hit me up on Discord, Geronimo. Send me a DM on Discord. Make sure your Discord and your Twitch is merged, and you can reclaim your prize over on the private message in Discord. So, Kronnect, highlight plus. We're gonna play highlight plus in a second, but if I've got GPU instancer, the asset GPU instancer, and I've got all of these meshes now instanced in my scene that I've got, can I still use the highlight mesh on them?
Yeah, As long as the mesh is accessible, meaning that you have several ways to use the GPU instancing. For instance, if you use the API for instancing meshes in your scene, then no, Highlight Plus won't be compatible with that approach because the meshes are not physically available in the scene, right? So no, in that case, it won't work probably, or it will just probably don't work as you expect. But if the object is just using a GPU instancing material, then it will work. Because one thing that for which Highlight Plus I think is powerful is because it doesn't need to change your materials in your scene. You don't have to change how you work with your objects. It will work on whatever the game object has exposed to the hierarchy in terms of, okay, it will learn, it will take the mesh from the mesh filter or from the skin mesh render, and it will add the necessary draw calls to the system. So you don't have to use a custom material that has this effect integrated in it, right? And you don't have to mind that, to worry about that. But yeah, if you are trying to render, for instance, thousands of vegetation stuff or objects using GPU instancing, then it won't work because the object is not physically part of the scene.
So, like with Vegetation Studio, how he's doing his GPU instancing of the vegetation in Veg Studio, then that would have an issue.
Yeah, I think so. That yeah. Honestly, I haven't tested it, but yeah, in the way that vegetation is rendered using the GPU side, the object's not really, you create some buffers, then fill those buffers and call an API to send that info to the GPU, and the geometry is created on the GPU. The instances of the mesh is creating the GPU. So yeah, it won't work in that way. But Highlight Plus was not created for that scenario. Highlight Plus was created for situation where you want your character to interact with objects in the scene, right? Individual objects mostly, and not to add a global outline to hundreds of objects, right?
So like if I've got this now, barrels, right?
Right.
That are here. I want to be able to see these barrels, to have them highlighted as though it was an NPC, like that NPC. So to see through the walls of these barrels. I went and just added a highlight effect. But is that the right thing? If I go to remove component, I go to add components, and I typed in hi. I see highlight effect, highlight manager, highlight see-through occluder, highlight trigger.
Yeah, well, highlight effect has three main ways to be used. The most straightforward way to use it is to just add the highlight effect to any game object in your scene. Cool. That will be the first way. So yeah, pick a barrel or any other object.
Let's put a new barrel in here. So I'm gonna chuck in. I hate that Unity's big blue that gets you straight away.
Okay.
So I've got a barrel now in my scene. Can I add a component?
Yeah, highlight effect. Okay. And you have to, because you are in URP, you have to set up the render pipeline, right? Yeah. Go to, double click the forward renderer, the same way you did with Beautify, and add the render feature. Yeah, highlight plus render pass feature. Done. Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
Okay. That's it. Then go to the inspector, and you can click, for instance, highlighted.
Okay. Right? So this game object is one of its children is marked as stat. My eyesight has got so bad I'm struggling to read this. If highlight is not visible, add a mesh collider to them. Okay. Yeah,
because static geometry gets merged, gets combined when you run. So it's just so you can check the effect ticking the highlighted checkbox, right?
So where the heck is that? There we go, highlighted.
Yeah, exactly. Here you have,
Scooby-Doo, where are you? Okay, so include its children, only this object. Ooh, route to children, layer in scene. Oh, everything. Layer in children, only this object. Oh, cool. Right, alpha cutoff.
Yeah, that's for semi-transparent objects, like, right? Not in this case. Highlight effects packs many effects in the same asset. You have the classic outline, right, with different options, of course. Then you have the outer glow, the inner glow, the overlay, and so on. And but one.
Do you have like presets? Like different, like you could go.
Yeah, you can create a profile, right, on
Yeah,
the top
exactly.
of the spectre, exactly.
Do you have ones already included in the demo?
No, I think the demo has one, but it's pretty basic defaults. So
that would be nice if you made a collection of regularly used profiles, like the ones in the video on the asset store. You had a few examples in that video. If you've got them made as profiles, that people can just see and then copy and customize and use those as the basis of theirs.
Yeah, I think it's it's a good idea. Sure. I would like to explain that Highlight Plus can combine different objects, right? So if you have different instances of this barrel, children of others, yeah. So you just need to add the highlight effect to the parent object,
So
and it will take.
There was one of those. Where is it? Barrels presets. There you go. Is that the ones? So if I think that's just. Hello. Unity's frozen. There we go. Oh no, it's just a okay. That's
okay, but you can child, right? The single barrel.
I'm gonna make a barrel here, and I'm gonna put another barrel inside him. And I thought I was. You know what? It's gonna delete you because you suck. I'm gonna put you here, and then I'm gonna make you a child of that one. I'm gonna duplicate you. I'm gonna rotate you slightly, make you look interesting like that. And then I'm gonna stick another barrel. You know what? I'm gonna stick another barrel here, right? Because if we're gonna do it, right, we're gonna do it properly. I'm gonna stick another barrel, and then I'm gonna stick another barrel on top of this one. Okay, so we've got our collection of barrels here. That looks a little bit dangerous. I'm a little bit worried about that. So just to make myself feel a little bit better, I'm going to stick another barrel here, and I'm going to move that barrel there like that, and then I'm going to put that barrel in here. So now we've got a load of barrels, but they're all under this first barrel object. So if I want now to add highlight effect, and I click on the highlighted, it's got on all of them. If I change that, only this object, then only that one is highlighted. Hey, ta-ta! And then, what does route to children do? What's the difference between route to children and children?
Yeah, route to children will take the grandfather down to the children, right? While the children start at that same object only. Think that grandfather, father, and children, right?
So if let me remove the highlight effect from this.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna make another barrel, right? Duplicate. So I'm gonna put this barrel here. And then I'm gonna put this one over there. Which one's this one? This is the main. So let's let's move all of these over here, and then I'm going to move this one back into here. That's nicer, much better. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to create an empty game object and see what happens on this one. I'm going to call this one pyramid. right? And then I'm going to stick, oh, not you, go away you, these ones. Oh, nearly swore. I nearly swore in Russian. I nearly did it. Okay, so here's pyramid, and if I add highlight effect manager on pyramid, it's highlighted the pyramid.
Yeah.
Now if I add it to roots of children, it does everything. There you go. So it went up, back up to the granddad, and then he went into all of his grandkids again. Brilliant.
There is another cool feature that is being used by some third-person shooters, and is very appreciated. And here is a link in the...
the robot doesn't like you.
Yeah,
exactly. This is the other effect I wanted to do. So you had it in your other video earlier. So that is it's the see-through. Here we go. We can see it here in the camera. So it's this see-through effect that we've got. Now that if I go to, you know what, I'm gonna be just children of this one. So that is see-through when highlighted, and I can reduce the intensity of that slightly. Okay, so if I click play, we're here with the volumetric fog. There. So we've got now in this scene, right? We've got the volumetric fog, volume 2. We've also got Beautify in. You can see that the Beautify is breaking through this fog. The name of the bot is Gilda. And now, bizarrely, the oh, look at this. So now we've got these barrels impacting the Beautify, you know, I can't even say the word. You know the effect I mean, the Ami-no effect.
The flares. Did you mean the flares?
So why am I? Oh, because this barrel is slightly behind these barrels. It's going red as well. So I can see, if anyone in chat, if you can see the video, it's got the barrel behind it is red because there's a barrel in front of it as well. Nice effect, reminds me of Assassin's Creed enemy effect. Exactly. This is what I was looking for. The kind of Assassin's Creed enemy effect.
Yeah. The cool thing is that it works. It can respect the order or the depth of the object behind the wall, and it is quite complicated to create the effect, right? In the video I have sent you, you can see this effect with the cylinder and the other object. And it's nice because sometimes you have some enemies which are just behind the wall, and other enemies or friends or whatever pals that are way beyond the wall. And you need to have this perspective.
So how do I do that with now?
I think you can simply change the color of the see-through effect from red to blue, for instance, or for one group.
Well, I want it to be, so if I've got this, so I've got this pyramid here, and if I'm moving it like that, see, I can see it now. But I would like these barrels to ignore that they're behind this barrel. Can I do that?
You should add a see-through occluder component to the other barrel.
So if I go see-through occluder.
Detection stencil, right?
Oh, hang on, I added it to the wrong one. That's the parent. That's the grandparent. No, that's the right. Is that going to be right? See-through occluder. And if I add it onto the other ones as well.
Yeah, basically an occluder will prevent the see-through to be seen through that object.
So how do I? Doesn't seem to be doing it. Is it because it's the parent?
Yeah, you are setting the occluder to the root of the.
Yeah.
No, it needs to be attached to the individual object. You want to be the occluder, right?
Okay. So I need to actually make another. I need to have that. All right. So if I have that as the empty. All right. So there's, and I move them all out of that one and into here, and I'll make that into there, and I'll put these three back into the pyramid. Okay. So now they don't have that conflict. So let's see. This one has got. Oh, it's inside him. So all of these barrels should have the occluder on. So that one's already got one.
Oh, okay, but yeah, I think the issue here is that you are managing the full highlight effect from a single script, right? And they are not really different objects. So you are basically saying, okay, occlude yourself, because there is the you should add the occluder to the individual barrel.
Yeah, I've done that on here. So this barrel has got an occluder on. This barrel's got a see-through occluder on. Highlight see-through occluder. This barrel doesn't, so that's a good example. Fun to put there. And this barrel does have one, but they all live inside this game objects. So this pyramid doesn't have one. Okay, good. And the children inside this pyramid don't have ones. Good. Okay. So if I click play, oh, it's working. It wasn't working in the editor, but it works in the scene. In the editor, it looks like it's not working, but as soon as you go into the scene, it works. Because now I don't get the red through the front barrels. I only get them through that barrel because that's the one barrel that's not set to occluder. So there you go. How do I make the red effect of the highlight ignore Beautify, or Beautify ignore the red effect? Or is that not possible?
I think that's not possible because the way the highlight plus injects the effect, which is done at the end of the rendering stage. So I think it's not possible. What you can do is use maybe
flares. That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe you can add two cameras, one for the effects and another for the highlight plus, right? I mean, that way you can control that which objects receive the post-processing effect and which objects receive the highlight effects. So, but yeah, I think that's the kind of limits you have when you stack together different effects.
I'm loving it though.
Yeah, nice.
It's so easy to just throw in as well.
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, it's so quick and easy to just chuck in there. So having lots of things with highlight on, would that cause a problem with the performance then, or?
Well, we have been added a lot of performance options. For instance, you have the option to combine meshes automatically in the inspector. So basically, it will just add one draw call per group, right? So you go to the highlight effect script
on the periods on this.
Yeah, and click the combine meshes just a bit below Yeah, right. A bit above.
Combine and found it. Tell you,
Yeah.
right? I've got my appointment to get my eyesight checked, right? And I had to book online, and the availability is in January. That's the next time they're available. So I'm hoping there won't be another lockdown in Jan. Otherwise, my eyesight appointment will get cancelled. All right, so combined meshes done. Also up here, reflection probes tick. What does that do?
Yeah, because highlight plus renders in water space it is not a post-processing effect. You can see the effect reflected in mirrors.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Or
that's
in
amazing.
Water. Yeah, water.
So Pete's about to go to bed. Pete, if you are about to go to bed, I'm going to give away a copy now. Eyesight appointments over Zoom. I'm going to give a copy of Highlight Plus. I'm going to do a raffle. Our next raffle is for I was going to say Eyesight Plus. It's for Eyesight Plus, Highlight Plus, or Plus. So make sure you're following, just like Sir DMX just did. And obviously, I'm in URP, and it's working in URP, but it will also work in built-in as well. So you've got a 2D version as well, don't you?
Yeah, in the same package and for the same price, right? And both, yeah, it's we have to keep both versions synchronized because this kind of issue that some options seems to be missing in some from the description of the asset, right? So yeah, it's double the work, but yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I think that people expect that for a general purpose asset like this one. So I think it's worth in the end to have this double work because sometimes people will want to use the asset in two different projects. Sir DMX is not foreign. And yeah. Wow, so bright.
So I went and threw in onto all of my light. I went a bit crazy. This asset looks awesome. So many possibilities. Shortage, exactly. There are so many possibilities. It is crazy. Crazy is the word. The word. Now, multi-object editing is not supported. That's one thing I hate about Unity. So much. So I need to add a new. Why can't I use the existing one? Spotlight profile. Can I just use that one?
That's from the demo scene, I think.
Yeah. Am I allowed? Is that naughty?
But it's a point light, right?
Torchlight is a point light. Yeah.
It doesn't matter because the profile are just a bag of properties or settings, so they have common settings for any kind of light. So
Yeah,
never mind. Yeah.
Exactly. Paste as values.
You should add a torchlight, but using a spotlight to the character. I think we can play with the shadows. It can give much difference to the scene.
Should I mean, you know what? I'm going to remove all of these and just do it on one of them so we can actually see. So here's one here, right next to our new barrels that we've done. So I'll be back later if you guys are still around. I'll still be around because there's too much stuff in here. So you want me to change this torchlight to be a spotlight? Did you say?
No, I meant that you could add a single spotlight to the camera to see like a torch.
Like an actual torch to the camera. Oh yeah.
Just to see the different kind of light shape.
Let's do go to the first person controller. Let's pick the winner, who's going to win a copy of this amazing Highlight Plus. I thought this was going to be a little bit more difficult to use, but it's ridiculously easy to use. It was brilliant. And Johnny White said this would be a great integration of horror FPS kit. Exactly. This would be awesome for the horror FPS kit. Both the volumetric lights and the highlight plus. Even Beautify would be. So I'm announcing the...
It's also integrated with Neo FPS.
It's already integrated. And look, Wizard Don't Code has also said it already has integration with Neo FPS. Of course it does. And we'll be with Neo FPS on the 23rd of December. So the winner is Kamal. It's his 1000th win on the stream. He's won his 1000th assets. Congratulations, Kamal. Yay! Don't forget to message me on the Discord. Alright, so let's go create a spotlight on my FPS bloke. So here he is, peeking in. There's my light. So I'm gonna. Should I add now the volumetric light to my light?
Sorry?
I'm gonna add. Do I add the volumetric light to the spotlight?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the idea is that they extend the existing light, right? So you just add the volumetric light to any exactly, and that's all. And enable the shadows, for instance, shadow occlusion, I call it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's it.
And then click play.
Maybe it's a bit bright.
No, it's good to be bright. There you go. Look at that. Pete says now Pete's going to bed. Why's my Unity going crazy? Oh, look at that. I've got an error. Got to go. Thank you for the cool insights. It's been fun. Oh, Frozen Empire, thank you for popping in. It was great to have you. And also to Pete, I hope you have both a wonderful night. It is late though, isn't it? It is late. Where the heck is brightness? There it is. 0.4. I know it's too low. 0.7. There you go. That's a good number. That's a good number. What's this error I'm seeing over here? Missing reference. The object of type volumetric light has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. Oh.
That seems a bug, maybe related to the prefab system. I'm not sure. Try to unpack the prefab of the FPS controller and see if that fixes. Yeah.
It might to do earlier when I was undo. That might be. Yeah, look. What is it? It doesn't even tell me the object I'm trying to add it on. Might be when I was playing about with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's it's a prefab issue. I think we can check that, but you should unpack the prefab using the volumetric light, because the volumetric light, depending on the setting you use, maybe trying to modify the hierarchy of the prefab. For instance, adding dust particles or additional components, and this is not allowed when it is a prefab, right? So that's the problem here. Nice lighting.
I want it brighter. I liked it. I wish I were bright. I wish I were bright too. Let's go bright. Let's go a bit brighter. 0.7. That's more like it.
And you should use also in attenuation mode quadratic, which is more realistic.
Where's that? Hang on. Go back in. So
instead of simple attenuation mode, you should switch to a bit. It's next to the bright.
Quadratic.
Yeah, that makes the lighting follows physical rules, like decreasing the intensity square to the distance and so on. So it's a bit more realistic.
Yeah, what else we got to do? Need to move that up a touch. Oh. And am I rotating everything? I just want to rotate my light. Oh, bugger. Don't say fudge or bugger. There we go. And I want to reduce the distance that my light can go. Distance for.
Oh, yes, modify the distance of the range of your light.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go to the light component itself on top.
Oh, go to this one on the range, not play with your. Okay, cool. So what should we do? 4. Well, playing about with your distance fall off, is that I want to play with that as well, don't I? Or no?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do both because volumetric light is designed as an extension for the light component, so it will respect your range value. And yeah, if you change the range, volumetric light will adjust the range of the effect. Also the angle, right? The angle of the spotlight as well. And but you can't set a custom size if you want to limit the light for when you have some static lighting in some corners or corridors, and you don't want the light to bleed through certain walls or objects. You can't specify a custom volume for the light. Yeah, you can, but it will. It's that what I'm talking about is designed for static lighting or torches on the wall and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you have this option of custom size or custom bounds on the bottom of the inspector, right? You're blinding any bug over there.
This is God. God has come to speak to us. Wonder what light that one is. That's probably the one that's causing the error. I'll tell you, that's probably the one. So it's that one there. Is that? So let's remove. No, that's not the one. That's where we are at the moment. So torches. Volumetric. That's right. Look, I found it. Here. Remove. Aha. Which movement acid is Messi using? I'm using the standard control. Unity standard acids. Lovely. I love this. Right, so what have we done so far? We've given away a copy of Beautify, and we've given away a copy of the Highlight Plus Pro. Use my headache, take highlights. So
Highlight Plus Max.
Exactly. So Geronimo won the Beautify, and Kamal won the highlights. However, that's not enough. Because obviously, as we can see, we're playing about with the volumetric. Now, you're in the awards. We forgot to mention that because you're up for an award at the moment, aren't you? It's what's the website? Awards.unity or unity.awards? Wait, there's more. Yeah, in chat. What's the bloody website? Unity Awards. No, hang on. What is?
Oh yeah, unity.awards. No, awards.unity.com.
Awards.unity.com. There you go. Okay, so click on that and vote for whoever you want to vote for. But which one are you up for at the moment? Which category
is the Asset Publisher of the Year?
You're up for Asset Publisher of the Year. That's like in the Oscars, Best Director, isn't it?
I think so. We similar title. Yeah, I feel super excited and honored for that mention, and I didn't expect that. Well, in any case, I'm happy that they have decided that to make that this year and not as a postmortem, right? Like in the Oscars, right? but yeah. I feel pretty honored for the mention, of course, and there are all other candidates as well. But just the sole mention is an achievement, and I feel pretty, floated by the situation. But I think that they just check that we have so many different assets, and we have been also helping with them with beta testing, and always checking the latest releases of the pipelines. And,
You've been finding their problems.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they were talking about that. Okay, this year we don't have any shirts to send to this guy. Let's send something else different.
It's coming up to Christmas. We forgot to buy him a present. Let's do the Unity Awards instead. That's what it came up to. Or chat saying, voting now. It's a great honour indeed, but you've made a great job with these assets. Voted for Kronnect. Thank you so much in chat, whoever's voting now. For whoever you vote for, obviously, there's lots of great people out there, but as we can see with Kronnect, a load of amazing assets that they've been working on for years and years. And not only that, it's actually the great level of support that they offer as well. I mean, that's the difference. It's the amount of support that you're getting from an asset store publisher, like we mentioned earlier on in the stream. Unfortunately, there are a few assets that we don't like to mention that people just stop supporting them. Now, I don't want to be overly judgmental, because obviously people have their own personal reasons. I know a first-hand experience of asset publishers who have had medical problems or family problems or monetary problems, and they've had to stop working, supporting their assets that they work on, unfortunately. So it does happen, and obviously when stuff like that happens, you feel for them. And in the same token, it's a passive income. So they're saying, well, look, I need that income because you help it, but I can't support it as much. In those kind of cases, I would say put a disclaimer or something of a mention, like, due to personal circumstances, I'm not as able to offer immediate answers to support queries, or be an extended delay in responses and things like that. But I don't like people giving 1 stars to assets because there haven't been any updates. Unless an asset says, I'm going to be doing updates for new features XYZ, then an asset should be classed as a closed product when you've purchased it. This is my opinion. So if I've purchased an asset like Beautify, and 5 years later it still works, even with all the Unity updates and stuff. So imagine that it magically still worked after 5 years and didn't need any more development, but it never made any changes. It was always the same version. I would be happy with that, and I wouldn't expect it to have had a whole load of new features because it still works. The problem lies is when somebody has sold an asset on the asset store for Unity 5, we're now in Unity 2020. It doesn't work, but it hasn't been deprecated or updated. That's the only time when I really have a gripe, to be honest.
That's a very, very good point. And I think that that shows your comprehension about the asset store itself as a whole. Yeah, because as you previously said, support in all cases is granted for free, and you shouldn't expect to get free support forever for something that has cost you $20 or whatever. And then in some way people need to keep on with their lives and have this income. So this is why, yeah, it's a complicated thing. Yeah, there is. We are 100% dedicated publisher. So yeah, this is our unique, the main income. So yeah, we try to give this support as best as we can, because we know that it will. It's part of our passion, what we do, right? So selling assets and not, being part of the experience of those users. I think it's not what has we in this scene, right? I love when I can see that the experience we have achieved using an asset from the start, from the moment you import the asset, and you can start using the asset without reading a lengthy PDF, or it's not complicated. Yeah,
exactly.
If you have managed to use the asset without using our email address at all, I think that's a pretty good achievement. Yeah. So we are happy with that.
I mean, look, I'm showing, like, as an idiot like me, I haven't read any of the instructions, any of the manuals. Like, granted, we've got Kronnect on the line with us and helping us as we're going. But look, it's pretty straightforward, let's be honest. But I also want to just draw attention back to what you mentioned ages ago about this effect. Look, I mean, I'm going for the dark, and again here, things were going blue, and now we're going back into the nice, more vibrant colours. Talking about support, Gildar says, support has been good from Kronnect in my experience. I haven't asked a lot of questions, but I've had fast response whenever I've asked something. That's awesome. Luroco says, the awards have two good publishers, especially best artistic content. It's a hard one. I know, there's a lot of hard decisions to be making on there. Obviously, that's why I'm not showing my screen of who I voted for, because also we've got one on Monday. We've got Cinti Studios and we've got Klaxels, both up for an award. And then we've got the following day, on the Tuesday, we've got Procedural World, so also up for an award. And we're playing about with other assets. Is Manor Stations? Manor Stations is up for an award as well, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, for his Lordenfell Castle, I think, is up for an award. So it's very tricky, especially for me, because interviewing people, but it becomes difficult. I can't show who I vote for, because then people go, oh, you didn't vote for me, and you get favoritism. So yeah, it's very difficult. Oh, it's a very tough decision to make on that one.
That's completely fair, man.
It's like you don't tell your kids which one's your favorite, but every parent knows. Every parent knows.
In your case, it is the daughter, right?
Well, yeah, the daughter that doesn't exist. Exactly. It's the child. It's the child who gives the daddy the most cuddles.
Just kidding.
It's although my youngest today, he asked me to play Lego with him, so I was playing Lego with him, and he loves watching Among Us on YouTube. He's streamer that he watches, Jelly, plays Among Us. Right? So with his Lego, he made the Among Us set. He's 5 years old. He made the Among Us set with Lego, and he's got these Lego characters with space helmets. And he's going, Blue, are you the imposter? I'm not the imposter. And he's got these over there. Where's Pink? There's Pink. Yellow, where are you? Where did you go? And I was asking, so what's Among Us? How would you describe it? Because he wanted to know what the word genre meant. So when I was explaining to him that, he goes, what game are you making? I said, I'm making a cyberpunk game, son. And he goes, what's that? Well, I said, it's a genre, cyberpunk genre. It's a type of genre. What's genre? I said, well, it's just a word that people can use to describe something. So how would you describe Among Us? And he goes, Among Us, you team up and you play and you get given jobs to do, and there's an imposter, and you pretend to do the jobs if you're the imposter, and then you have to find the imposter, or you get killed. And I said, okay, describe that now in 1 or 2 words. And he went, team up kills.
Team up kills.
Yeah. So I said, there you go. That's your genre. You've invented a new genre of game called the team up kill genre. So there you go. He went, oh, I understand now. So yeah, that's from a 5-year-old. The mouth of the babes, that is. And I would say a genre for Kronnect assets would be AAA indie dev genre. It is a little more of a category, is like a genre. But get come on, I'm trying to make a seamless link here. So if you're an indie dev in your home and you're trying to make a game, okay, you're trying to become the next Phasmophobia, D Nighter, who if he wasn't making these huge updates, we have to blag him in to come in for a stream, but he's just releasing the prison pack currently on his game, and that again making use of the Unity Asset Store to be able to streamline and quickly process your games. That's what Unity Asset Store is there for. And if you are wanting to make your games look great inside Unity, then Beautify is there for you. If you're wanting to have these amazing fog effects like we were just seeing, then we got the Fog and Mist too. If you want to be able to limit the amount of shader keywords and optimize your games on build so it doesn't take 20 years to build your shaders, then get shader control. And if you want to have that fantastic highlighting effect that we can see in games like Assassin's Creed and the Shenanigans, then Highlight Plus, what we were just playing about with. And there's a load of other stuff. Like we're talking about Voxel play. I'm going to do some more Voxel play stuff now that we've got the guide on how to do mirror. Trails effects, global snow that I played about before, liquid volume, tunnel effects, be great for a sci-fi space game. X-Frame FPS accelerator, what on earth is that? I've not seen that one before. What's that?
Yeah, well, that's an asset that will downscale automatically the screen based on your FPS preferences. So, for instance, you basically stacking the asset into the scene and to the camera. And let's say, okay, I want my game to run steadily at 30 FPS, and it will automatically adjust the quality or certain settings of the scene in real time, or downscale the screen.
So if you're like for VR, where you have to constantly hit an FPS, otherwise you make people vomit and everything, like happened with me and stuff. So would this be good for VR games, for helping to make sure you're maintaining a solid FPS?
Well, not in my opinion, not for VR, because VR requires a pretty decent resolution, and sometimes it can get very pixelated.
Okay.
So it's designed mostly for mobile devices, because
cool.
In mobile devices are very impressive in terms of screen density, right? So you have a lot of pixels, and you can barely see the pixels themselves.
Yeah, it's so small.
So
unless you've got magnifying glass.
Yeah, even though, so you can afford to get rid of many of them, and you won't notice the difference. So that's what X-Frame does for you. Basically, will reduce the resolution dynamically, trying to keep up with the performance you expect with your game on your mobile phone. Yeah,
that's amazing. Well, we've been playing about with the volumetric Fog and Mist, so I haven't given away a copy of Volumetric Fog and Mist 2 yet, have I? Something's missing from our giveaway extravaganza. I need to give a present away to somebody else, don't I? Let's copy that and stick that into chat. So, who wants to win a copy of the Volumetric Fog and Mist? Hands up in chat. Who wants to win a copy of this? Opening up the giveaway, !raffle. So you can win a copy of Volumetric Fog and Mist. I do. Pick me, sir. Pick me. There you go. So, Everyone's doing an exclamation mark raffles in the chat. Exclamation mark waffles in the chat. And also, as we were playing about a moment ago, is obviously I'm going to give away a copy of Shader Control as well, because I can see people in chat falling over themselves going, I want it. Yes, I know you do. I know you want it. I know you're also very proud of your tunnels. Now, what's the performance hit on this? Is it good for mobile?
I would say that depends. It depends if you want very smooth, very little dense mist. Maybe a mobile can be a bit expensive because the light ray need to traverse a lot of distance, and this can means heavy toll on certain Android devices. But yeah, Volumetric Fog Mist 2 was never designed for mobile, but the truth is that today mobile devices are quite powerhouses, right? So if you use the URP version, which works pretty much like the volumetric light asset, I mean, it works as a scene object and not as post-processing effect, it will run way faster mobile than the built-in version. Because, post-processing effects need to run on full screen. And scene effects just, just take the performance required to render those pixels. So as long as they don't fill the entire screen, they will run faster. And so Volumetric Fog Mist 2 for URP should run fine on mobile. But yeah, depends a lot of your settings. You have to try it.
You've got too many assets. I mean, because I love your the tunnel effects. I was just looking at a second ago. Volumetric Fog and Mist. We obviously playing about on the stream. It's Volumetric Fog and Mist, and how easy it was to put Beautify in is actually converting me to like URP. So the fact this asset is helping me want to move over to URP. Wizards Done Code says, I used the tunnels in the new transport challenge, another cool asset. Oh, awesome. So you used tunnel effects from Kronnect in your transporter challenge. Brilliant, mate. It's fantastic. I love to hear when people are using assets and actually able to do something cool with them. Entries have stopped. I actually used that mountain in my last project. Oh, nice. The actual mountain in the video. Right, the winner of the Volumetric Fog and Mist 2 is... That's my drum roll. It's a bit flappy, bit of a flappy drum roll. The winner is... Kame! Hit me up on the Discord. Kame! Volumetric Fog and Mist. And we've got the last one, which is Shader Control. Shader Control. You know what? Should we do it? Let's do it. Should we do it? Should we do the raffle? Let's do it. Shader Control. Exclamation mark waffles for Shader Control. Get straight in. Get straight in, Kame. We have an exclamation mark waffles for Shader Control. And if you haven't yet seen, as we were mentioning a minute ago, Kronnect is in for Unity Awards Asset Store Publisher of the Year, awards.unity.com. If you want to hop over to awards.unity.com, and then you can do your vote, cast your vote for whoever your conscience tells you to vote for. But as you can see, there's a lot of funky stuff that you can get over on Kronnect's Asset Store page. If you are looking for Kronnect's Asset Store page, then why not also have an affiliate code in your browser cookies while you're there as well. I'm just going to pop back inside Unity while you're mucking about. It is ridiculously easy. I have not read any of your documents, your PDFs. If I were to read your documents, your PDF, what would I learn? Would I learn tips on how to do more things?
Yeah, well, I think most of the documentation covers the same steps, just how to import and configure the ERP system, because as you have learned today, you have to do some clicks.
Exactly. That was you taught me more in this one sitting than I've learnt in months. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So basically, the PDF files just cover those aspects of setting up the environment and maybe some performance consideration or tips and so on. But yeah, mostly my idea for the asset is that you don't need a manual, right? The inspector should be self-explanatory.
Exactly.
And at most you could use some useful tooltips next to the labels, right?
Tooltips are crucial, and as soon as you get a good tooltip in there, that really helps, because they just hover your mouse over something and you go, oh, that's what it's for.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you can explain something in a few words, is much better than. But yeah. Yeah, you can see that there is a lot of advanced topics and notes there, and this is like a frequent asked questions, because along the time people get back asking specific questions, right? So I try to document those cases, just in case, hoping that someone in the future will take the time to read the PDF.
Oh, if they ever do read it, they might find an answer or two hiding inside the documentation. Oh, mate. So one thing I was going to say to you again, like I mentioned it earlier, is we had a couple of requests, mainly requests coming from me. So one was for the highlight. If I go back to my barrel here, we see here we've got profiles. Now I can create a new profile, obviously, but if you had available to download, either from your website or ideally packaged in the asset pack itself, a collection of ready-made profiles, most common examples, so that based off what you had in your preview video for the asset, there are some really good examples in there. So if you recreated those and offered them so people could drag them in and then change them, that would be great. The other request, I know we got here, Beautify is now on my wish list. Exactly. And there's going to be a sale, an asset store sale. Unity have said coming soon. We don't know what's in the sale and what's not in the sale. All we can say is that Unity got a sale coming up in a day or 2 days on the 15th.
So all the I think most of the assets of ours will be 50% discounted. So yeah,
if they were to be in a sale, we just don't know yet. We can't say yes or no if anything is in a sale or not, obviously, because Unity don't release in advance what's in a sale, and no asset publisher ever gets asked in advance if he's going to be in a sale or not. Isn't that right, Kronnect? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So if you are thinking of buying it, you might want to wait a couple of days to see if it's going to be in the sale or not. But the point of an extra feature would be nice if you had the conversion tool to be able to convert normal post-processing profiles into Beautify profiles, because that is my only one problem I've ever had with Beautify. I've had one problem only ever, and that's the manual process that I do to copy. And I've spoken to other people, and people say just do it manually by hand, and I go, I do, but when I've got literally maybe because of the nature of the work that I do, hundreds of post-processing profiles, it gets to the point where I just don't use them at all, because it's just too much work. When work gets to a certain point, the alternative is don't use them, because when you're working on a project, you've got options, don't you? Do something, do everything, or do nothing. Sometimes do nothing isn't actually that bad a choice. So if you add that one feature, you will make me the happiest bunny rabbit in the world, I have to say.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we can do something in that regard.
Awesome! I'm so happy right now. So happy. Everyone's like, I'm waiting that HDRP Beautify update next. Let's wait to see what changes are happening with HDRP, and a Beautify with HDRP would be awesome. For now, I'm just amazed that we've got it with URP as well. So if you don't need URP, you can just stick with Beautify 1. That's correct, isn't it, Kronnect?
Exactly, yeah.
So if you're only doing built-in, go with Beautify 1. If you've got URP, go with Beautify 2. Or if you've got Beautify 1, you could upgrade to Beautify 2.
Yeah, exactly. The upgrade path is, is quite generous, because if you purchase Beautify 1 right now, you can upgrade to Beautify 2 for free. For I think the grace period is like I didn't remember, but I think it's like 1 year or something like that. Yeah.
So you get a free upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. But I of course I recommend that you jump straight to Beautify 2, because one thing for sure is that Beautify 1 only gets critical updates, meaning that it won't get minor improvements or small fixes. It will just get, fixes that let it work with latest Unity versions. But the active asset is Beautify 2. So
there you go. Just jump straight into Beautify 2. Get it while it's hot. Cloud Spark says, I've owned Beautify for a while. I need to go back and watch the vid. I have no idea how to use it, but it looked great. Exactly. Well, the biggest tip I give to you, okay, in using this goes back to using Beautify 1. The biggest tip I ever give to you is have the game view open and muck about with the sliders. Just move sliders about until you get to how you want it to look. And the most amazing thing in Beautify 2 is this enable compare mode, right? And I can change the angle of my compare. So let's do that. This view here like this. This way is great because it's split in half. You can go like that. Line width. What's that going to do? Oh, there you go. Big thick line. You don't need that. So got a little line like that. And now you can see what is it like with and without Beautify with half the screen. Okay, that's awesome. That is a fantastic feature. I love that. What's this performance? Prioritize shader performance. Direct right to camera. Is that these good things to tick?
Well, yeah. If you are targeting mobile, those are two necessary options to get 60 FPS if you want, because they will use some tricks that URP allows to maximize the performance. Prioritize shader performance is the equivalent to the built-in version best performance mode. I don't know if you remember the built-in version of Beautify offered two settings or three settings from a Dropbox in the inspector for quality or performance.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, when you check this option, prioritize shader performance, it will disable some aspects in the shader automatically. So it's more mobile friendly, right? It's a bit less accurate, but it will run a bit faster. And you won't notice the difference on desktop, of course, but mobile can give you some extra FPS.
We always like some extra FPS, dude.
Again, you had the downsampling option that, it's if you use it wisely, you won't notice the difference on mobile due to the massive screen density, right?
You know what we forgot to do? I forgot to pick the winner for the shader control. We did a raffle. I haven't picked the winner. It's been the robot, and nobody's done exclamation mark winner of come on Messi, announce the winner. So let's announce the winner. Everyone's sitting there waiting for me to say who's won shader control. So another drum roll. That's the worst drum roll ever. The winner is Cloudspark in chat asking, I own Wetstub, I've never used it. And now he owns shader control too. So congratulations. Hit me up on Discord. Everyone who's won, make sure that your Discord and your Twitch are linked. If they're not linked, then you're going to get your bum smacked, pretty much. So I'm going to do a congrats. Hit me up on Discord. There you go. So our winners today were Geronimo. Congratulations, Geronimo. You won a copy of Beautify 2. Kamal won Highlight Plus. Congratulations, Kamal. And then Kame won the Volumetric Fog Mist 2. Congrats. So hit me up. You won Fog and Mist. You won Fog and Mist 2, didn't you? And Cloudspark won shader control. Now, somebody came in. We had one of these robots who came in the chat and tried to say, do you want to be famous? And the person's name was Camille. And Sanyo banned Camille because the bot picked it up straight away. I thought it said Sanyo banned Kamal, who won Highlight Plus. And I was like, oh my God, why is he banned? Why is he banned Kamal? What did Kamal do to get banned? What did I miss? Kamal's lovely. Kamal's a winner. Kamal wouldn't do anything to get banned. And it wasn't him. It was a robot trying to sell, I don't know, porn and whatever it is that they get to. So winner of Highlight Plus. I don't know which of these is going to be my favorite of the day. As a parent, which is your favorite? Actually, no, it wasn't. It was you won Beautify. I got a message to the wrong person. Beautify 2. So, Kronnect, which is your favorite of the 4 things we've seen today? Beautify 2, Highlight Plus, Volumetric Fog Mist 2, and shader control. 2 questions. Which one did you have the most fun making, and which is the one you enjoy using the most?
Wow. Okay. All right. There is no doubt that Beautify is the most known asset from our portfolio, and yeah, I think that it's our flagship asset at this moment, and we have a lot of ideas planned for Beautify in the future.
Oh.
So yeah, we have especially some work planned for new lens flares effects for Hdrp as well. So yeah, Beautify will continue to evolve and get new effects and better support for new pipelines. And yeah, so it's our favorite probably, but. Yeah, there is this new group of assets that works in a scene space or world space, like Volumetric Lights or Volumetric Fog Mist 2 for URP, that has has made us like URP
again. Honestly, this has been an education to me today because of that asset. I've actually been like, URP seems like I could use it. I could actually use URP in a project. So it had the same effect for you, like it did for me, in that it made you think, actually, this isn't shit. You know, this is
working.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that well, you know, we try to create something like that, but as post-processing effects, but it didn't work because URP was not ready for that, and their API, you know, they still have work to do to properly support full screen effects. So we have to hack a bit into the system. We have to create post-processing effects as render features. which I think is not optimal. But they work. This is why we have this direct right to camera, because this option will make this this way of injecting the full screen effect faster. So yeah, probably the next month Unity will add proper support for post-processing in URP. So we will need to adapt Beautify to that. But this is not the case for the Volumetric Fog Mist 2 or Volumetric Lights, because they already work, and in an agnostic way for post-processing. So they are ready for the future at this moment. So they won't need any major redesign in this aspect.
Let me ask you, if I had two projects, right, built-in and URP, and I've got Volumetric Fog and Mist in both built-in project and the same in the URP project, which would actually perform better? Identical. Everything's identical. One's built-in Volumetric Fog and Mist 2, one's URP Volumetric Fog and Mist 2. If I was worried about, I'm making a project and performance is the one I'm most worried about, which is the one that I would go with?
Well, I would say that if you cast a very large fog area, like the classic background fog effect in a forest, I would say that the built-in version could be faster, a bit faster. Why is that? Because it provides some options like downscaling that you can use to reduce the computation effort. So this option is not available to world space effects like the Volumetric Fog and Mist 2. And so in this case, I think the built-in version will run a bit faster. But on the opposite side, we have the contrary, because if you want volumetric fog for local fog effects, like in this case, then the URP versions will run faster.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, why? Because as long as you are not filling the screen with the effect, they won't take any performance, right? And while in a full screen effect, you have this bandwidth issue, because the entire screen is being, covered with effect. So it's mostly noticeable on mobile devices, which are more delicate in this regard.
And if we take performance, how the question, if we worry about quality, I mean the visual improvements for URP over built-in outweigh the any other concerns you might have if you're going to switch over. If you wanted your project to look pretty between built-in and URP, do you feel there's a big enough difference to push you to URP?
I like the how the new lightning looks. I think it's I would say that probably people that work in the in the level design field could offer more insight than me, because I have not been too much into level design in URP, so to notice certain aspect that it sucks or not, or it offers more limitations. But yeah, probably in terms of level design, with the addition of asset store solutions, you can get sometimes better results, right? Because in ERP you have maybe certain limitations, like unsupport cookies or certain other limitation that I'm not sure now. I don't recall now, but probably you will get the maximum extent of what the pipeline offers in built-in with extra assets from the asset store. But for the general use, I think that the European provides a very good looking graphics at this moment. Probably, lightning in certain aspect is still lacking. But I think it's on a good progress.
I'm very surprised. I'm very pleased
Yeah.
of what I've seen today.
And of course, performance is critical here. Okay, so I have this demo scene or asset side by side, and in all cases, the URP scene runs faster than built-in.
Oh wow!
Yeah, in all cases, no doubt here. So yeah, you have some trade-offs here. You have this extra performance, probably because URP also offer less features than built-in, and has gone, not as far as built-in in terms of exceptions or some extra code that could be overcomplicating the pipeline. So yeah. But let's see in 5-6 months if they get this 99% feature parity with built-in. Let's see how the performance.
2021 is going to be an exciting year. I think it's going to be a fantastic year, mate. It's very late. So you tell me.
No, yeah. One thing that, for instance, the ability to resist shadows in transparent objects by default, I think this is a nice addition in ERP.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one thing that always makes people cry in built-in. So yeah, that in itself is a massive win. Well, my favorite is Volumetric Fog and Mist, says Hero 6. I have to say I'm very impressed with Volumetric Fog and Mist. I'm going to be loading it into my Cyberpunk project that I'll be doing on videos on YouTube. So expect my YouTube videos to be featuring far more Kronnect stuff in the coming days. ! Kronnect in chat. Mate, thank you so much for coming on. Oh, and you've stayed on a lot longer than we thought we were going to be. We've actually ended up talking for 4 hours. It was supposed to be 2 hours, and we've been here for 4 hours now because we just couldn't help ourselves. Seriously, you really do deserve to be nominated in these Unity Awards for Best Publisher for 2020 because you've got an amazing suite of products, very impressive stuff. And not only that, but the level of support you always give is outstanding. So as a customer, I have to say thank you very much. As a reviewer and content creator, also thank you so much for the support you give us and the free presents that you've given to the chat.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and for having fun this night. So thank you.
Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed. So I had a fantastic time. I've learned so much. I wish you the best of luck in the awards. Remember, in chat, it's Unity, awards.unity.com. I'll put that link in the chat again if anyone missed it. So it's awards.unity.com. Kronnect's up for Publisher of the Year. It's effectively like it's like the Oscars movie. The best movie, best picture award, best director. I don't know if there's an equivalent. Probably best director. They could think of it that way. It's Publisher of the Year. It's crazy. It's like the #1 award on the awards ceremony this year. So congratulations for being nominated. Best of luck. And mate, I'm gonna be messaging you as I'm playing about with Voxel Play multiplayer, and also I'll be loading up Volumetric Fog and Mist 2 in my Cyberpunk. So I'll be sending you loads of questions as well for that. But once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you again. Thank you to you.
What a lovely man. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.